What's good, Chad? It's Wednesday. What's good is Gina and also Shogun and mostly Cope Dog Sama here.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm, not, having hot caca anymore.
Well, I like that. I kind of missed that one photo of you. That when it's always the same. That the other guy uses as his avatar. It's when it's not here. It's a bit unsettling.
I know it's weird not staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like staring at you.
I like staring at me.
Speaking of staring at people, Lady B.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am alive. I am almost we're probably 2/3 of the way through the kitchen remodel, and I don't know where anything is. I couldn't find my webcam. I couldn't find my power cords, and I really want to think back.
It'll happen. It'll be good. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yes, it is. It's awesome. I love it. Very excited.
You could buy new equipment now if you wanted to too. Probably. Hey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to because now Will lost it. So what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Upgrade.
Yeah. All right. Upgrades galore. We got Gooch in the house.
Huge.
What's up?
Gooch dog.
Gooch is the most metal.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Had a great conversation.
Yeah. That was cool. Isn't it here how he's using his YouTube platform and building that into an actual career, possibly with a band, and going to Europe? That's pretty big.
That's huge. That's massive especially for a band that's been together for a very short time. That's massive. So
And his metal channel just blew up. Like he did 2 videos and he had 10,000 subs. It was insane watching that go down.
Who is that?
Wyatt's Metal. He's also the Film Rebel as well. He was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But his
Great
metal channel is just insane. Yeah, he's a great dude.
Through the roof.
He actually lives around the corner from where Jana and I had our first place there in Long Beach. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
really?
Beach.
Yeah, dude. It's insane. Same
he's not
costumes.
he's from Long Beach and he's not doing Sublime covers. Come on.
I know, right? He's not originally from Long Beach, so he just doesn't get it.
Are people taking a dump on his front porch there?
Yeah, and leaving
Sweet.
used heroin kits on the front lawn.
Oh yeah.
It was
Long
awesome.
Beach, man.
Now, lightly used or?
Oh no, they went deep. They were used.
Hey,
They were
you
used a
can
couple
clean
times.
those syringes.
I inspected, and I was like, "Dude, these needles have been used a couple times. I better put these back where I found them."
All right. Next we have got Shieldwall of Dragons. What's up, Shieldwall?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for having me on. Real excited about this, the Shogun show and everything, and it's great to be on here. Be on here with Copa again and Lady Balefire.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been on a stream with Gooch. Maybe I have. I don't know. I can't.
No,
remember.
I haven't. I don't think I've streamed with you.
My brain is basically mush. All I can think about is Lady Fuji. I'm sorry.
So
You're a simp for Fuji, huh?
I totally am. I can't help it.
how do you not sit for her after you give her his guns and she's like, come and get him, and chase those guys out of the yard like that?
Yeah, she's a great character.
Lady Fuji over Mariko for real?
Oh hell yeah, all
No
day.
Yeah.
way, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
She got waifu vibes.
Yes, very much so.
But Mariko doesn't even move when you shoot an arrow across her nose.
Nah, that doesn't matter. She's already married.
Or when you slap her.
When you wag her wiener in front of her,
she's a
moving.
great character.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that she has over Lady Fuji is she does come visit you at night.
Yeah.
when you're in bed.
See?
So that'd be the
But
one.
That's true.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. It's been a long time, so.
I had to recruit you because you know stuff about Japan and nobody else here does. So really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, I watched anime.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, you guys, I saw a really good anime and it's really funny. And I think I wanted to tell you guys about it, especially if you play Dungeons and Dragons. It's called, I think it's Dining in Dungeon. And it's sort of like a take on that. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah, it's and everything you kill, you eat in the dungeon and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
it's
You make
so
these gourmet meals.
funny.
Yeah,
It's
Do you use a D20 Nerd Rock in
hell yeah.
that too?
Hey, I have my dice. I'm back here in the bedroom again, and I have my dice in the like thing, but right next to me, I have a D20.
You
But-
can roll if you
rock.
have to then. Saving throws during the show, just in case.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
really a cute show, and I think you guys would like it, especially if you play Dungeons and Dragons, because they kind of do a lot of the dialogue. Like people in a group playing would be like, "Oh, can we do this and that?"
Yeah.
It's cute.
I like how they like to mix genres there too. It's like a cooking show plus a dungeon diver.
Yeah, I actually got hungry watching.
We have one more guest to bring in right now. He is first timer here. He's we're about to pop his cherry.
Ooh.
So, Sammy 3P, welcome.
Oh, I finally get to be Sammy.
It's Sammy the Bull.
Sammy.
Bada bing.
Nailed it.
Zach's arigato for having me on.
Well, that's more Japanese than I know. Oh, Genki. I know Genki from
Yeah,
Gray.
Genki. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Konnichiwa, but I don't know if that's one word or two. So,
I think with Genki, you were supposed to say yes. That's about as right.
I know, God.
Like,
He's
Yaira?
just asking if you're happy or not. Like, are you feeling good? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Are you having a good day, basically?
so far so good today. I'm
I don't
Genki.
know. Sammy's
Yeah,
looking like
I'm
that's a no.
Oh, Sammy, having a rough one. or
I
what?
got my Zach's knows. I got my stuff all screwed up. I was preparing to come on, and I was like, oh, it's in a different time zone, and I got time zones backwards. So at 8 o'clock today, I was like, hey, I'm in. I don't see anybody. And
yeah,
then,
2 hours early.
Yeah. Don't worry, Sammy. That was
Yeah.
me. I've been sitting in the back for like 3 hours.
What?
Sammy, I'm not gonna lie, Sammy. You got that. You look like Tim Tebow waiting to be selected at the draft right now. You got that look. You got that look.
Oh, are they doing the draft now?
Oh no, not right now.
Okay,
No.
good. I was like,
Oh, I hope
get-
they
I get
draft
ready for
Tebow.
Slaves next year.
Yeah, I hope they draft Tebow.
I think Copa would draft a Tebow if he had a chance.
I would.
You would. We got some people here in the chat. Jacob Ironside's here. What's up? Shieldwall, you are also here. Cajun Corey, always good to see you, dude. We've got Lady Balefire. Hello, Lady B. We have Cajun Corey. He's a member. Thank you, Corey. I will get you a clip for that. I don't have any Japanese clips. I should probably fix that, huh? But how about we do this one? I don't want to do no slurp today. How about we do a no slurp day?
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be nice. Thank you. How about
Let's do
delete
this.
it?
Yeah.
We'll do this one.
And so yeah, my granny was the first one to turn me on.
Yeah, Zach, my granny was the first one to turn me on. Oh, Zach.
This is why I don't do live stuff super often, because I can edit videos. I make a video and I'm listening to it. I was like, huh.
I'm like, really?
That never gets old.
No,
No.
no, that's good. Less gross. Less
I-
gross than slurp.
I want to meet his granny.
Yeah.
I do too. We're all curious now.
Yeah. Now I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, me too. Jana's here. What's up, Jana? Boners? Always good for you. AJ, what's up? Oh, what's good? He didn't say what up. Are you really AJ?
That's not AJ.
No.
AJ, say what up.
He would. He always does.
Yeah.
He's very consistent. Josh, good to see you. Always. Racerhead. Yeah, so Josh was we're bugging him today because people are now finding out about the guy who was fired from the X-Men series, that Bo DeMeo guy, and like his other activities. That Josh has already covered that on his show, and now all the big channels are finding out about it and talking about it. It's kind of funny. He's like
What's-
a week ahead of the game.
What's the other activities? Whoa.
Only
Some of us don't.
What?
Oh yeah. Ah, nice.
Oh, so wait.
Is
was
this
he
like
already
a comic,
subscribed?
the comic X-Men or something else?
X-Men
writer.
97.
97, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reboot.
Oh boy, a reboot.
Apparently, he was a huge pain in the ass to work with too.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what's going on in his
Yeah.
OnlyFans too, right?
Is that yeah? Was that a pun on purpose or what was that? Because that was good.
A little bit of both.
Don't be. Streaming with you yesterday was great. That was good to meet you yesterday. Sketch, what's up, Sketch? Yeah. So Josh is like a week ahead of all this stuff. So always watch Josh on Tuesdays. Boosh. What's up, Boosh? You're late and gay. I'm late. You can be gay. No judgment here. And who else? Alex Moore, what's up? Dildo. Need my dildo. Every night. Melvin Deeply.
I need my dildo. Clip that one.
Clip it.
Clip it.
Clip it
I
hard.
need my dildo.
Yeah. Clip it
Every night.
hard. Tattoo Sama became a sponsor. Thank you very much. Don't know where that came from. Interesting. It's showing that, but not like the other stuff. Oh, StreamYard. We're also on Rumble.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Sir can join last week. I was making out with Yes, it's true. He got throat AIDS from me. And then he got fever. It was a whole mess. So Melvin Deeply Carr, what's up? Throat AIDS, yeah. Throat AIDS is the worst kind of AIDS to get. Goober.
I think it's just called strep.
I don't know.
You guys
I
are
had-
fancy.
I had butt AIDS. But I just
Oh,
That's just
Yeah.
called AIDS.
well, I sweated it out.
That's yes. That's just good old fashioned 80s.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, the old-fashioned Magic Johnson AIDS. Okay.
Good time is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Vex is here. Sassy's here. Where's Mr. Connolly,
Vex.
huh? He's big timing me.
Who's big timing you?
Mr. Cannoli. Sassy's here.
Oh, that makes sense.
not cool. Not cool.
Not cool at all. I'll remember this. Oh, Lord of the Bling. What's up? Good group in here tonight.
Yeah.
There's
Jake
subtle
here.
deviancy. You are back in the circle. So that's Saturdays. You missed it. You got to stay up late for me once. William Richards, good to see you. Copa's the Magic Johnson he does. The kind
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Now he can, he gets like 30 assists a game now with his AIDS.
Yeah. It gives me superpowers. You guys should try it.
Josh, all right.
DM me.
Dan, Sammy, who are you?
I'm Sammy Threepeat. I'm kind of new to the scene. I'm working on getting my channel together. Otherwise, I just like hanging out and I play music. I'm really hoping to really get more familiar with the software that I'm using to try and start reviews on my channel. But it's mostly just hang out and have fun. Keeps me off the streets, you know. But
He's being modest, everybody. His band is fucking awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of
I-
music do you play?
Hip-hop?
Yeah, straight grindcore.
Tejano music from Mexico.
Oh, that's fun.
I like to write a little bit of everything. I write all the songs. I play piano, harmonica, guitar, bass, but I sing, and I can't do any of those things while I'm singing. So I need help. So I have a great group of musicians behind me. Some I've been playing with for 10 years. I'm actually in a second project now that I was in 13 years ago, and it's like we never miss a step. But
We have a request here.
He does have a soothing voice. He has a great voice, that's for sure.
thank you. Yeah, I don't. What would you like to hear? Oh, Movie Cynic's here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I have a question. Do you play the North American
Skin
flute?
Not in years.
Look, whatever you catch, I
Wow.
promise you can sweat out. I swear.
Because of that good old fashioned butt AIDS.
That's the one.
The original.
No, but
The OG AIDS.
actually, our friend Nadia, she's doing a podcast called the Dirty Laundry Podcast. I actually gave her one of my songs. It's going to be the theme
Nice.
song for a new podcast. So, I don't know. I'm just having fun, and if you guys want to hear, I've been editing a live album. That was a really good show. Hit me up on Twitter. I'd be more than happy to send it to any one of you guys. I'm not going to charge people who can't make it to the shows. So, but if you're ever in Detroit, you better buy it. So,
Sure.
Nice.
That sounds fair, reasonable. Who are you on Twitter?
I am Sammy 3Pete all across the board. My Twitch, my YouTube. If I make a Rumble, it'll be Sammy 3Pete as well. So, Outlook.
Oh, sure, why not? Well, thanks for coming on, and your first time here, so appreciate to get to meet you and help you get you a boost on this channel, get you going, and once you get stuff on there, it takes care of itself. So
yeah. So I think my first review, what I want to do, and I've met so many wonderful people on this. I'm going to go probably not episode by episode because they're usually 2-parters, but I want to review Batman 66 and just have a good time.
that's cool.
Just bringing people on, making fun of the zaniness, talking about things they enjoyed. I know a bunch of stupid, useless facts about that show that a lot of people don't know, so I figured that'd be a good place to start. And another idea I had is I am from Detroit. I love Detroit. There's a lot of movies that do not represent Detroit very
8
well.
Mile. 8 Mile.
8 Mile isn't terrible.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
Come on, that's
There's streets that don't
for the love of the
exist.
game.
I just watched Four Brothers again the other day, and he's like, Mark Wahlberg's like, there's a liquor store on 104th Street. I was like, there's no fucking 104th Street in Detroit. It's all crazy French names. There's no.
I hate that stuff.
Just
Like
stuff like that.
Yeah, that
But,
gets me having lived in LA and stuff. Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop, dude.
That in LA.
Not in the beginning.
Yeah, so I'll review the beginning.
Yeah.
And see how.
So just
see how it
review like
matches
the
up.
review the first act before.
So, there was a cop show. I think it was short lived. It
Cop
only
Rock?
had like
Cop
couple
Rock.
episodes. And it yeah, Cop Rock. No, it was like a Law and Order style show, but it was set in Detroit. And the first thing one of the detectives did was put ketchup on his chili dog, and half the city was like, "We're out." Like it was like there's things that are very specific to Detroit that I would like to acknowledge, and there's a lot of myths.
What do you put it on your hot dog out there?
Mustard.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, let's be honest. Ketchup's for children.
Yeah.
You put mustard on it and mustard only. And I don't know who these weirdos are that put
Mustard
mayonnaise.
is gay.
What do you
Ew.
put on yours, dude?
Barbecue sauce. I'm a man.
What the fuck? What? That's not a what?
Yeah.
Mayonnaise and a hot dog.
That's
is how you
that's
do
just
it.
spicy
no
ketchup.
No, man. No, not mine.
My favorite part is like, and I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Yeah,
I'm a
barbecue
man.
sauce, baby.
Barbecue sauce.
On
fine
everything.
mayonnaise. That man, no.
Habanero
Yeah.
if you got it.
Mustard.
So Sammy, tell me, what is Detroit style pizza?
I could go into this for a long time because my family actually helped invent it.
Oh wow.
It's basically less thick Chicago style pizza. Actually, that's not a good way of saying it. You put it in basically a baking pan.
Okay.
So it's kind of it's thicker. It's not as large and wide as New York. It's not an actual pie
as
like
deep.
This
Chicago.
doesn't sound like we're describing pizza anymore. It's large and thick and
Slimy.
wide. Uh-huh.
Moist.
Go on,
Chicago.
Slower, Sammy.
Yeah, we
Dances
put
that
mayonnaise
line
all over it.
between actual pizza
It's got
and
barbecue
baked
sauce on it.
That's good pizza.
That's California pizza.
Oh, it's
Tomato
awful,
sauce.
dude.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
God,
We
dude.
got pineapples on it.
Yeah.
No, get out of here. So, thanks for coming, Cynic. Always good to see you here. And Subtle Deviancy. Lady Balefire reminds me of a crossing guard that unintentionally shows cleavage while ushering kids across the street and surprised about attention. Now, unintentionally, I don't know. I don't know if we can go with that part.
Me and Subtle Deviancy have been backing each other up, talking shit about the Acolyte, and
Oh boy.
Oh,
What happened with
boy.
that? Is that like a thing? Like really?
I honestly believe that it's a Harvey Weinstein allegory. And whatever her name is, like all these people are disappearing, but nobody does anything about it until it suddenly becomes such a big problem that they can't like help notice it. Like, how did 20 Jedi just die and we're like, we didn't know what happened?
No, they casted a girl, like a girl boss, as the Sith, and then even the producer, she hit us with that. It's not even fresh anymore. They've been doing it for 15 years. Where they go, what if the Sith were the good guys and the Jedi were the bad guys? And you're like, whoa, no, it's gonna be bad. If that's all they have to stand on, it's gonna be terrible.
It's either that or a lesbian allegory. It's all allegory.
Well, like I was talking to Cameron about that, and apparently, like, the whole reason, if it's even really getting made, is that like Leslie Headland was basically blackmailing Disney to get it made. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
It got made. I mean, they're putting out the trailer now, so it got made. But
well, yeah, it got made, but maybe just a trailer, because who's gonna watch this show to prove it exists?
Yeah,
like
Harvey,
we probably will, but everyone else, I don't know.
People
Harvey
with pronouns in their bio are going to watch the show.
No, they're not going to watch it either. It's proven that they don't watch it. But Harvey Weinstein should have fucked her right out of Hollywood.
True.
He tried.
He tried, but she just turned into a lesbian.
Yeah.
Dildo. Only African skin flutes for Sammy. Okay. Good to know.
Well, apparently she was really good at her job. Getting people to come up there with him.
Oh, that's true.
So,
She's
Sammy
Kennedy 2.0.
You're new to YouTube, so you don't want to come out against Beverly Hills Cop or RoboCop, just so you know.
RoboCop is my favorite movie of all time.
That's good. All right.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
bit aggressive, but okay.
Batman. But yeah, I've actually met Peter Welling at a Comic-Con. Like I said, I think it's the greatest B movie ever made.
it is good B movie.
Flaccid Phoenix.
Did he
Get
just
in
say
here.
Mayo? Yeah, get in here, idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, George, hello.
He has admin access, so he doesn't even need a link. He can just show up whenever the fuck he wants, which is
Right.
almost never flaccid. Not that I'm bitter. This is for this is actually perfect timing for this one. Now this is for Subtle Deviancy. Got a little
There's
clip.
Peter Welling. Peter Welling.
Peter Welling.
Weller.
Was it Weller?
Yeah.
Whatever. I met him. He was a nice guy.
You met the guy. You met RoboCop.
Yes.
Yeah, you met RoboCop.
Photojournalist Brad Rice shows us how a forestry instructor gets his students to make and play the North American the flute in this Traveling West Virginia segment.
Perfect
We
timing.
should have just kept going with it, like
Yeah.
just totally
Yeah.
like I didn't say that.
He should have. Yeah, he should have. But he didn't, and now it's he's almost famous.
Come here.
Subtle Deviancy, $5. Thank you very much. How did you get that throat injury? He had barbecue sauce on his hot dog. Well, that may not have helped the injury, but certainly wasn't the cause. But I thank you for the super chat, and I'll play Don.
Beta male, beta, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, beta. You a beta male? You a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta. What a shame. Mommy's boy.
Mommy's
That's
boy.
wrong. Slaps.
It does slap. Hello, love it. Thanks for coming. Eraserhead's here. Hey, Eraserhead. Actually, Andrew, I'll watch it. Yeah, all things Disney Star Wars. You do love Disney Star Wars so much. The trailer, I watched it today, and like it's pretty gross. It's just like really gross.
The thing I caught with that trailer was the beginning when the Jedi instructor was like, "Close your eyes," and you see the alien in the background. Like, yeah, I can't.
It's got like bug eyes.
It's got bug eyes. Like,
I'm a squid monster. I can't.
fuck, I'm out, aren't I? I'm kicked out of the Jedi Academy, aren't I?
It wouldn't be so bad to get kicked out of that academy. It doesn't look like a great school. You know, it's very much like it's DEI for sure in the school. So maybe not the most qualified students are there, or teachers for that matter.
That's true.
And look what happened: 20 go missing, and nobody cares.
Your grades are fine, but you're just not gay enough. And
Can you also
you're just
dunk?
gonna have to have a blue lightsaber.
Ooh, the red. People, I watched some of the shows react to. That's way funnier than the trailer itself.
Those are entertaining as fuck,
Oh,
dude.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Well,
are
especially
they
when they-
all super hyped about it?
Yes.
Yeah. And they'll cry. They'll fake cry. Like, oh my god,
God.
the Acolyte's finally
People
here.
are still doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like desperately doing that. It's pretty sad, but
Yeah.
it's their life. So we're gonna get into something else here too, because on the weekend we did a deep dive and lots of coverage into the Yaira trailer and the behind the scenes video, and so I want you guys to know that it's now officially been solved. We know where the accent was from, but Archlight may not know. So this is what I found. Well, which was sent to me actually. And this may answer the questions for us on Twitter. There you go.
Well, it was originally claimed to be Slavic, right?
Yeah, so Eric July says it's Slavic, but I don't think he knows what that means. So,
Well, where did the Scandinavian part come from?
because the character is Scandinavian.
Because she's blind.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So she's
water.
with a Slavic accent.
He doesn't know, I don't think. Like, so he must have mixed it up because he talks about it here, or sort of does. Tries not to talk about it, and then it's interesting to watch the other people around him because I'd never noticed this stuff before, but like it's like walking on eggshells. Everyone else but Anna, she's asking questions, and these guys are like, okay, let's just end the segment, please.
The one
and
woman on the panel has the balls to call him
right.
out.
Yep.
Good for her.
And the nose.
Can you guys hear it?
The nose. No, I don't see shit, dude. What do you mean? Can I hear it?
I can't smell anything.
You can't smell it?
I'm fucking blind.
Is that better? There you go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
By the way, Eric,
Hear it?
congratulations.
Yeah, we
Oh,
hear.
appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, what is it at now?
1.2 million.
Woo.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Okay, can I ask what kind of accent was she supposed to be doing?
She's oh man, I'm not gonna give it all the way in there. Let's just say Slavic.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that. If you
I
follow
wouldn't
my
give it
Twitter,
all away.
someone guessed it right and
Slavic.
actually confirmed it. I shouldn't have done that. That was NDA to myself, but yeah.
NDA to
Oh.
myself.
Is
dude.
it
Why is this?
NDAs.
How do you NDA yourself? Fuck, I gotta sue myself now.
Yes, that's right.
Shit. Derek June, you're a genius.
He is.
He
I have
is.
to NDA myself. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Now you've done it. I guess the accent is like key to the story. Maybe.
I gave myself a parking ticket the other day, so
You're right. Oh, dude. You're a good citizen.
You are. Appreciate that.
Sue yourself then.
Sue myself, yeah. Sue
Was
my,
that-
I
Was
sue
that her
myself.
first time trying to do that accent? Because I had such a hard time understanding her.
Anna's saying it. Everything we want to
Dude.
say, right?
Yeah. And you,
Oh.
you
Like,
just tell
the
everybody
act-
squirming.
Yes, they are. Like, Cub Brutus wants to be somewhere else for sure. He's like looking at his
Right.
keyboard. Maybe I have a power outage right now quickly and get out of here. I don't know what they're afraid of, but it's something.
but Eric should be very careful what he says next because he has an NDA on himself. So
That's true.
That's right.
let's see how he answers this.
If he sues himself, he has to pay both lawyers. Like that's a bad situation.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. She had we had a coach with her and everything. So no,
So what he's saying is this isn't the first time she's done the accent. He had a coach with her that day. It was a one-day shoot. So off camera, she may have tried it a couple of times. So he's correct, technically. But
He didn't say what kind of coach. Was it a basketball coach?
He's pretending he didn't find it on OnlyFans.
oh,
He can't ball. He's only 5'2".
yeah, he is. He's really short.
He's stupid.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's
Oh
5'8",
my
I
God,
think.
dude.
Something like that,
He-
5'6".
He can't even dunk on a Fisher Price court.
No,
Oh, this all makes sense now. He's got the Napoleon complex.
it's all coming together. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's more after this, but yeah,
Boosh.
this is
Boosh. It was an orgasm, coach.
Oh, I drank the Kool-Aid when Rippaverse first came out. Everyone was telling him, like, hey, if you don't like the comics, make your own. He's like, hey, I did. The guy put his money where his
Fuck
mouth
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And
we're all
then,
behind that.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. But I was like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I could get into that.
Hey, if she could dodge a wrench, she can talk Slavic.
Yeah. I hate when I'm about to say something and then slap myself with an NDA. Yeah, that's the worst feeling. You can't stop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? This is the guy.
I mean, like the person they got to play it, she's like a basketball.
She's great.
Yeah.
She plays basketball. She's 6 feet tall. She's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she looked good.
She's not from any Slavic region or Iceland. But she had a few minutes to practice beforehand. So for him, he's like, no, she did it before, like 5 minutes ago. It's fine. She goes into Scottish a little bit there too for a while. And
Yeah, he said he hired coaches.
yes.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. What kind of coaches? He didn't specify.
First time that she had done it.
People are saying what Icelandic. I don't think that's
Yeah,
Slavic.
that's accurate. The
so she's Icelandic.
She
Great.
but what's great
pause,
is Anna
but-
knows that Scandinavian is not Slavic.
She does, yes.
And he's like, no, that's accurate. That's
Is he
accurate
gonna
as fuck,
school her?
dog. Yeah, he's
gonna
about to
school her?
I hope
School
so.
her? He's gonna mansplain to her that listen, this is how they talk in Iceland.
What I like is everyone else is squirming and she takes a sip of her drink.
Oh,
He has
she's
an
getting ready for the
understanding
show.
of
That's what she
Scandinavian Peninsula is just as well as Bernie Sanders does.
She get some popcorn, just let it cook.
Yep.
yeah,
Let her go.
That's accurate. The okay, well, fuck the NDA. The Icelandic shit is accurate. For sure.
Oh shit!
Yeah, fuck it.
Well, who are you going to be suing yourself?
This is
Run!
myself. Sorry, Saskas, if you're in the chat. My bad.
Okay, accidents.
Wouldn't
You
it be
own it,
great
so
if it was like all of a
true.
sudden in the middle of it?
you're your
You
own
shut up.
boss.
No, you
Who's
shut
going
up.
to yell at you? You?
Yeah, true.
Perjury. Perjury and defamation.
Yeah.
Did he go retarded? What happened to him? Like he just went full retard there. Like
He did seem to go full retard. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of bearing? Maybe it has a huge implication to the story about where she's from. It's like this big twist or something. But why would it matter?
No,
That
see,
can't be it because she has an accent people hear when she speaks. It's not like a
point is
secret.
He's not supposed to talk about it,
Right.
Because he has an NDA on himself.
He doesn't want to sue himself.
yeah, he doesn't want to sue himself, dude.
It's embarrassing suing yourself.
I mean, I haven't been keeping up with any of this. What are her powers? Are they ice powers or something?
Dude, do you want? I'm like, you're this close to getting sued. Just asking these questions.
Yeah, you can't ask. You can't talk about this
Oh,
stuff.
sorry, my bad.
See, with the ISOM universe, from what I understand, is that you just have to wait for the next one to answer your questions. Okay, so just get the next one, and you'll find out.
so it's like Star Wars.
Yeah, Disney Star Wars,
Yeah, Disney
Like-
Star Wars.
like Acolyte Star Wars. Yeah,
Yeah, there's like 50
Oh, it
questions,
doesn't make
no
sense.
answers. Yeah,
Exactly.
50
Yeah,
questions,
yeah,
no
yeah.
answers. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
One more thing to show on this, because not only did he already I guess he broke his NDA here, but it's also like when you put it in the credits, I don't know if you're hiding it that well.
Oh, that's what this is. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I've just been living in my kitchen and
Good. You don't need to know this stuff is not important. But yeah,
What? Yeah,
we talked about it on Saturday night, so I wanted to finish it off today.
finish. You mean like
Finish it off.
Icelandic,
Just
like
like that.
Nordic?
Yeah, but they speak a totally different language, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of finishing it off, it's her on the left is Yaira.
Would.
Wait, I need to study this for science for a few minutes.
You should.
Yeah, keep this up for the rest of the show.
Yeah, who's the person on the right?
Oh, what am I seeing here?
There's an NDA on that. You can't.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't.
Showing.
I'm willing to risk it.
Swing.
But like we've all supported him, so it's just funny now. I'm gonna laugh at it because it's this is really weird. The whole thing is weird. Doing a live action trailer for your comic book is weird.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
weird. I mean, is he making a movie out of it or something?
No.
Well, I think that's always kind of like the idea was if it blew up, there'd be games and movies, and
Right.
it'd be like its own MCU thing. It's like the long-term hope, not necessarily plan, but if things go good, that would be the natural evolution of it. Oh, there we go. This is much better.
Yes.
Is this in Canada?
Better.
She's 6 feet tall. Yeah, she's from Calgary.
She's got more clothes on.
I just got
Yeah.
more questions now.
Ugh.
I wish this is the Sosa Sisters.
It's great casting otherwise. Like besides the making her do Icelandic when she can't, and she's not an actress. She's a basketball player. So let's just take it back a notch.
Basketball player? Wow.
Yeah, she plays college basketball. That's
Oh, not what it was. Oh,
all right.
This must have been
Yes,
painful having to do all
he
this
does.
research.
Oosh. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he probably does from today. Yeah. What's up, Dragon Roost? All right, we're gonna get into the topic tonight, which is we'll get into Yaira maybe again some other time, as many times as possible, maybe.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely.
But for now, we didn't get to cover episode 4 last week, so we're covering 4 and 5 this week. So up until now, let's start overall. Everyone's watched up to episode 5.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. I've been consuming this show voraciously as it comes out. I look forward to every episode. I was skeptical at first, but it's held up continuously.
Oh, episode 4.
Episode. Yeah, I thought that was the strongest.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I know it's not going to be the strongest in all of it, but that's when it really kind of hit me.
The tides turned for me.
Yeah. And also, this is kind of one of those shows where it's so dense. I have it on in the background when I'm like cleaning my house or like doing stuff because maybe I'll catch something that I didn't notice the first time, just while I'm.
But how do you just have it on in the background? Because you got to read the subtitles.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Well, after I've already seen it, I already know what's going on. So if there's a part I like, I'll turn my head or whatever. Or
Gotcha.
Let's be honest here,
media.
Sammy. Do you watch it with dubs? Just tell us.
Oh, I watch it with dubs and then I watch it
no.
with subs. I've seen both episodes twice.
Oh, so you watch it? Do you watch it with dubs to see the difference, or just to?
Yes, and then I watch the podcasts afterwards, and I'm just kind of a nerd like that.
She's my wife. Yeah, she is your wife, isn't she, Andrew?
Yeah. Wait. There's a dubbed version?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
shit.
can turn it on. I mean, I don't know why you'd ever do that, other than to compare the two.
Well, that was my main thing. Is it's less realistic because
I love it.
They're supposed to be. If you're going through Blackthorne's point of view, you really shouldn't be able to know what people are talking about. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes away.
Right.
Yeah, there's a huge part of the confusion and a stranger in a strange land that if you just have it dubbed, it's not the same. I will say, lady, when I'm cleaning my house, I have the dub one on.
Oh, there is a dub code, dude. I'm fully team like subs, not dubs.
So when in the dub, when they speak Japanese, are they speaking English?
Oh, good question.
Oh, okay. So honestly, it's more because there's even in the dubs, there's part where people just straight up speak Japanese anyway, and you have to read the subtitles.
Right.
But it's it's more when you're gonna distract me even more. It's more the back and forth banter. I don't want to get into any of the things in the episode before we cover it, but why don't we table this and I'll tell you when it changes as we go along, because I've noticed there's a stark difference between the sub and the dub.
Well, the important thing is that in order to look at it from Blackthorne's point of view, and what makes some of these scenes work so well is the fact that there's 3 people in the scene translating. So he's talking
Absolutely.
to Rico, and then she's talking to like Buntaro in episode 5 and back and forth. And that gap in translation is what makes the scene so powerful, as opposed to I've just got dubs on and everybody can understand each other. Kind of. I don't know. It's weird. I guess I'll have to watch it that way just to find out.
Yeah,
Gooch.
no, it was interesting for sure, but it takes away an entire dimension of Blackthorne's struggle of just no one knows what the hell you're saying. So if you have them talking in the language you understand and you don't have to read the subtitles, it takes away a whole level of how cool this show is.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
love it.
remember they did that in like I think it was Triple R actually, when people were speaking English or something, and they like made it some different language in the like English dub version. It was pretty funny.
Well, that was weird too, because it was filmed in Telugu, but they didn't have any version on Netflix that had that language. So it was every
Yeah.
other like Tamil and Hindi and everything else, but the actual language was filmed in. No, we don't have that. So all right.
Oh yeah, that is kind of a thing. There's so many different languages in India that okay.
Can we tell them apart? Good question, Subtle. I mean, we can. Definitely Shieldwall can, because he lived there. So he knows Japan. He knows the Japanese peoples. Yeah, Dempsey. What's up, Dempsey? Good to see you here. Adam Gray. Low effort fans, yeah.
So there are some differences between this show in the 1980s and the book. Specifically in episode 3, when he becomes a Hatamoto, when he gets the title and he's allowed to live in the fishing village, he has to train the Japanese soldiers in European naval cannon techniques and stuff. What they don't show you in this show, which they do in the book in 1980, is he also has to learn Japanese to a certain level in 6 months, or they're going to kill the whole village. So,
What?
Oh yeah. I kind of remember that now.
Yeah, that's in the he has to learn Japanese. The problem, the reason they don't do it in this show is because it's so short. Whereas in the 1981, I want to say it was like 5 days or 5 sets of 2-hour shows. So you basically almost learn Japanese with him. He gets a Portuguese to Japanese dictionary that he uses to help him learn. And so there's a lot more long, drawn out sequences of where he's trying to learn Japanese, and they just scrunch it in this one, which is fine, I think.
In Shield, another thing too, I don't think they do a good enough job of showing Blackthorne is like a really, really smart dude. Like he speaks he just doesn't speak Portuguese as well as English. I think he speaks multiple languages.
He speaks French. Here's the thing. So the real person that Blackthorne is based off of was he was an apprentice for 12 years as a shipbuilder. Then he learned how to navigate, and he worked his way up to the ranks. He was actually in the battle with the Spanish Armada when they came to take over England. He served on a supply ship, and then he got married and had some kids, and then he got promoted and he started working for the Dutch East India Company, and they made him the navigator captain of a 5-ship fleet. This ship that he shows up with here in Japan is the last surviving one out of the 5. Like, stuff happens, some sink, others turn around and go back, others get separated, that kind of thing. So but that's a really high rank. I mean, he was going to get a huge cut of the treasure out of all of this trade. So he had to be smart. He had to know all these languages. He knew Portuguese. He knew, I believe he knew French for sure. and Spanish too, I think. Because how else could he translate those Spanish maps and stuff that he got that showed him how to get around the Cape of New Hope, or the other one down by South America. Anyway, so yes, he is smart. The other thing that the show doesn't really do quite well is show you how much time has passed. Like,
there's huge time jumps in this.
Yeah, since he
for
gets
sure.
to the village, and then
There's
how
snow
long he's
here.
been training him and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's a little bit hard to immediately pick up on.
I wanted to call this episode "My Fair Blackthorne."
Totally.
We got another guest. It's
what's your favorite?
It's
not
Liquid
him.
Copa.
Can you hear me?
Oh.
Okay. I'm traveling.
Yeah.
I'm a traveling setup here. Dude, I was listening to you guys. I had to call my wife, but I was listening to you guys, and I was behind, and I was listening to Yaira content.
Yeah.
I fucking love this. This is like my favorite news story going on right now.
Right. This is a great timeline to be in right now.
Supposed to be a death blow. Like it's so.
It's supposed to be death blow. Sweet dreams, chill.
Yep. That's chilled.
Shield.
He dies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want to derail it, your guys' conversation about Shogun, but I think where did we talk about this? Maybe it was like in a DM that like for some reason these indie like projects, they just rely on dialogue so much. Like, why was there so much dialogue? You didn't need so much. Explaining literally everything. Could have had a voiceover from like a good voice actor who I'm sure Eric July is connected to, and could have been her like father saying like, "You're gonna have like you're going to have a lot of responsibilities," you know, and just giving her a motivational speech. You just see shots of her seeing like bad things happening. And she takes a step up. I don't know, but that could be way easier.
You don't think Derek June is a good narrator? When you hear his voice and then an actor falls out of the sky with fresh Timbs and crushes a car, were you not confused? Yeah, Derek June is using a tricknology, dude.
Tricknology.
Tricknology. Yeah, and again, totally would smash this girl. People that say she's ugly need
who
to
said that?
No. Yeah, who said that?
No one said that. We just said she wasn't
No.
Scandinavian.
No, not you guys. I'm saying like I've been listening to a lot of content about this. I'm saying like any person out there that says that is like 100% wrong.
They're on
I think
crack.
everyone here
On crack.
Yeah. I don't know who you're listening to. You listen
the
to Black
voices in my
Anus. Black Anus, is that who you're listening to?
Is Black Anus here? He DM'd me. He's like, we should DM, like frowny face. I'm like,
I'm
you know
just
what?
wondering
Or
if
not
she
DM.
got her SAG card from this.
Her SAG card? You think so?
Her SAG card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
But
She can dunk me.
Okay, is she supposed to be Slavic or Scandinavian?
Scandinavian.
Okay.
Yes. No, yes.
He doesn't know that. Like Eric doesn't know that Scandinavian people aren't Slavic.
He's being coy because he doesn't want to NDA
That's
himself.
racist.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
India himself. Yep. True.
I will say this: having been to Iceland, the women there do look like that.
They do.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure parts of like
Also-
northern Russia probably look like this as well, right? Because it starts to
Yeah.
bleed in that area. But
And apparently Calgary, where she's from.
Oh,
talking about Canada. I don't give a shit.
Well, she's from Canada.
Nuke it. Nuke
Yeah,
Canada.
never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
a
Gooch,
nice
you're going
Gooch
with him.
I mean,
That's a good shot. That's a nice good shot, though.
it is a good shot. So, but Joel, like,
shot.
where did they film Shogun, the series we love and we're talking about?
But
BC,
this one
right?
here, in they did some shots in Japan, some in London with some set work and stuff, but the majority
BC.
of it is in British Columbia,
Yeah.
which
You're welcome.
And I've been to Japan. I've been to the shoreline and stuff. I could not tell. I thought it was in Japan. So
Yeah, they
It's,
did a good
nice.
job with that.
yeah, they picked the right spot for it. And if you look at it, I mean, like on the map and stuff, it kind of lines up latitude wise and whatever.
It does, yeah.
Much
It's really
beauty,
cool.
so,
I love
yeah.
like the northern coast of like the Pacific coast and up into Canada. So pretty.
And they did it in Canada because if they did it in America, it would have just been a complete disaster.
Yeah. Plus, Canada gives some pretty like sick like filming rebates. So.
Oh, are you telling me you can shoot in other locations other than the volume in Hollywood?
You can, believe it or not.
When was this passed?
Yeah.
Is there a press release about this?
Much grass.
And they can use AI to make a city that doesn't look half bad. I mean, you can still tell it's not like a real city, but where are you going to find a city like that, you know, in a modern day? It'd just be full of like, it'd be too much. So you have to CGI it. But to me, it looks good. It doesn't pull me out of the show at all.
My understanding, there's no young Rippas in this at all either.
No,
there's ninjas.
High
There's
contrast.
ninjas.
Well,
there are some ninjas.
Yeah, there's ninjas in the show.
Here's the thing: there's actual era period paintings done by Japanese that show people of color working with the Portuguese, although they're just like carrying stuff around in the picture.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not
Sort
like
of
they
like
had positions
they're
of power.
indentured.
I don't know. They could have been part of the crew or whatever. The
Were
most
they
they could have
getting
probably got
paid?
away with is had maybe like somebody standing off to the side, like recording what the Jesuit priests were talking about or something like that. But but the fact that there's no people, you know, of color in the show doesn't really add or take anything away from it.
Do you think the Japanese saw the Portuguese and their crewmates and said, "Shut it down! Shut the border down now"?
I mean, if you watch the first couple of episodes, they really got their hooks in, especially with Christianity, and it was very enticing to some Japanese people, and they've got even some lords to convert to Christianity, and it became a real problem for the Japanese because once Blackthorne showed up, the real William Adams showed up. He let the cat out of the bag that these guys, their whole agenda was to eventually Christianize the entire place and take it over. And they were like, we're not going to probably have that.
When has Christianity done that?
Oh, dude, I'm literally having a wet dream of
that
being a
sounds
part of
kinda
Christendom
awesome.
right now.
But it led to
Settle those down.
So this
Settle knows you well, Don.
The show takes place in 1600. In like the 1630s, it comes to such a head with the situation that there's an actual civil war over it, and they wipe out all the Christians and like outlaw Christianity, and they do keep. They kick the Portuguese totally out of the country, but they do keep one place open, and it's for the Dutch to trade.
Well, you try saying the word Bible with a Japanese accent.
But yeah, there is a lot of real history there in the way that
Well, you see that in Blue Eyes Samurai. You see a lot of that. That's what it's based on.
I love Blue Eyed Samurai.
Yeah.
AJ, stop giving away all our secrets.
But what you guys, we covered it last week, but like what you're missing is that Japan was founded by sub-Saharan Africans 22,000 years ago who were also master seafarers. And so they went and they colonized there originally, and then the Japanese people came and colonized on them and forced them out. There's evidence of this.
Started the Mayans.
Well, they had to go back and build the pyramids too. Like there's a lot of stuff they had to do.
They were busy.
Where does Yakub fit into this lore?
Yeah, I was about to ask you, Coob, Joseph Smith, the Mormons, somewhere in here.
Is not in this chat.
That whole thing was the craziest shit I've seen in a long time.
Ron L. Hubbard
fit in here. Like
it is. It totally is like the black version of Scientology. It's wild.
Yeah. Hey, LGD.
So you don't think black people came from pieces of the moon? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you not believe?
6 trillion years ago? I wasn't there. Can't say for sure.
The dark side of the moon.
The dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Well, from what I learned from that whole thing is
and
the only people they have to blame
starts praying to Yakub.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Shield?
I was going to say the only people they have to blame for all the problems with white people is them because they created us.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
True.
But Moses blew up 300 of the worst ones, so. With dynamite.
Oh, history.
Copa, why don't you do your spin-off, Copa Ex History, and we can get a nice deep dive.
Cubian lore, just hours and hours of content. I could do that. I can actually do that.
That rabbit hole.
I might actually do
Italian
it.
started everything, really.
So I was saying this last time though, is that this whole thing where they have to have Blackthorne or the Spanish guy driving their ships all over the place was they're good mariners. They know how to navigate their own islands. Now, if you're talking about making long trip to Macau or some other place, they're really not good at that. But they invaded Korea in the 1590s with fleets of boats just like this. Now the Koreans beat them back, but that's because they had these things called dragon turtle boats that had metal, armor on top and flamethrowers and cannons and stuff. And the Japanese didn't have any of that. What they would do is they would pull up to the Korean ships, latch onto them, and just run across and fight them because they were really good, with their swords and stuff. But anyway, the point is that they didn't need the Spanish guy Rodriguez or Blackthorne to steer any of their ships around. So I don't know why they were letting them do it, other than for the book or the story.
I would say though, to challenge you on that is they're constantly killing themselves. So if you have a pilot who commits suicide, what do you do next? This white guy's not going to kill himself, so you're good there. The pilot's going to make it.
But see, what you have to understand though is the people that are running around killing themselves are all in the upper echelons of society where that stuff matters. If you're a farmer, you don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're not committing.
Yeah, you just kind of hang out till somebody kills you.
Yeah, fair.
Which will likely happen. Yeah. That's another thing that I really do like about the whole aesthetic of this show is he's learning that it's a polite culture, because if you're not polite, they're willing to get violent very, very quickly. You know what I mean? If you slight someone, they're willing to just take you out, no question, because you didn't bow at the right time. Or
it's every word counts. So every word has meaning, and as you learned in episode 5, he just playfully, he doesn't know how to say don't touch the bird, so he just says if you touch it you die, and that comes back to haunt him, obviously.
Fuck.
Well, even Mariko says choose your words carefully when they're drinking the sake.
Yeah. And she says it afterwards, when he's chastising them for what happened to the gardener. She goes, your words gave them meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in a place of
in
power
his
now.
mind, when he said don't touch this or you die, he's thinking like a European. If you told somebody this is on pain of death, they just won't do it. What he didn't understand is that in their culture, that guy was going to take one for the team. That's part of what they do.
And it was a good
You
death
just
for
wanted to
him.
make stew. Right?
Yeah. But this is a hard lesson for him to learn.
Can I ask a question about that? So they hung the bird up.
Yes, I wanted to ask
He's
the
like,
same
no
thing.
one
Me
touched
too.
the bird.
was gonna
And
ask
then
it
he
too.
made the stew, and then the gardener steals the bird. So what
stew
were you
is a
saying?
rabbit
The
stew.
bird
Yeah.
It was a rabbit
Rabbit.
stew. It was a rabbit stew. It wasn't the
It
pheasant.
wasn't the
Then
bird.
what was the point of the bird?
The bird, he had to leave it up there so it get gamey, because that's how the Europeans ate it. Although I don't know, it had so many flies on it, it would just be infested.
Yeah.
with maggots.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
don't-
that's what I was thinking.
I got the feeling he was thinking that they would leave it up there and eat it later, but also that they gave it to him, so he needed to show it off, because if it came from what's his name, it must be the best pheasant ever, so they needed to show it off.
Yeah. So when he
I don't
called
get
it,
it.
what is it? English rabbit stew or what?
Mhm.
I thought he just let the bird get so shitty. It was like Polish city chicken, where it's not chicken, it's pork.
Yes,
And
exactly,
Yeah.
babe.
No, it
leave
was
it out
totally,
for a week, and it's just got a nickname now.
But I do know that people at that time would let things get gamey. They like to sit it out or age it or whatever.
Wouldn't they? But wouldn't they prepare it and let it sit before though? Like instead of
Apparently not.
You gotta
I
get
might
it.
have to look that
You
up,
can't
but-
leave the guts in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
They do
exactly
that
it.
with steak too. I went to like Vegas one time. I think it was in New York. That they had this restaurant and they had all this beef hanging up, and I'm like, they just leave it up there for days.
Yeah, they have like 60-day-old cured beef, and then you cut the bad parts off the outside, but the inside now is super like aged and. But you got to cut like a whole bunch of the meat off the outside of it for it to be any good.
Oh
Maybe
my
it's something
God.
like that where like only a certain
Yeah.
portions of it were going to be good. But it had so
Thank
many
you, Gooch.
flies on it. There's no way that thing wasn't completely eaten
No.
by
So
maggots.
Yeah,
Gooch
that
has
was
solved the
gross.
mystery here. But also, common people says, I'm European, we're disgusting. So
I know that in the 1980 version, he did the exact same thing. He wanted to
really?
let it sit up there to tenderize the meat. I guess the maggots do it for you. I'm not sure. But the same thing happened. He said, don't anybody touch this or you'll die. And the same thing happened. The gardener, they were like, look, we got to get rid of this thing because it stinks.
Speaking of disgusting, do you guys remember when he ate that like when they just
The
moved into
natto?
the house? Yeah, the natto.
Yeah.
Like,
what is
that
that?
was
What is
funny.
natto?
Okay, it's fermented.
A fermented soybean sprouts,
yes.
right?
Yep.
He
it
gives
is
like
nasty.
the most European answer ever. It's like tastes like rotten cheese. It's good.
It is gross. I've seen
It
people.
seems
eat
like
it. It
it's
looks
like
snot.
Vegemite or something.
It's basically it's fermented, so that
Yeah.
goo is just nasty.
Yeah, it's like a lactobacillus kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ugh. I like fermenting stuff, but that was like, ugh.
I suspect though, like when they, like for aging beef, you don't like just take a cow, kill it, then hang it up in your backyard for a week. Like there's probably more care and preparation that goes into it than just that, right? I'm guessing. No.
I don't know. But I'm really interested. I'll have to look it up later. Like what you do with a pheasant when you kill it. Now it was because it was a gift from him. He was excited and he's like, "Look, he's giving me gifts. Now we're getting someplace. He's starting to respect me and my abilities and stuff." So that part was good. Here's the other thing, is how that I'm starting to get my. It was in episode 5 that the gardener died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is 4 here.
Okay.
Where
So we
Fuji
gotta
wants to
work-
kill herself, and she's like, "No, you can't kill yourself right now. You can do it in 6 months, maybe."
So here's the thing. She's only like 19. She's not old.
Who? The actress or the?
No,
character?
Fuji in the book, she's not
Okay.
she's not old at all, because Buntaro is her uncle, and that
Right.
dude's not that old.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
Right. Well, she does say that in the show too.
Yeah.
My uncle has left.
I think it's like really interesting to watch this because like it's very obvious that even like Blackthorne doesn't understand the sort of honor code that they have going on at the Bushido and amongst other things. And it's interesting watching as an audience because we don't really understand it either. Like, isn't it so weird that both of these women, it's just like, it's a huge dishonor to us that they just don't let us kill ourselves. Like,
Yes.
it's just like, oh my God. Yeah. Like the thing is like, you think she's going to protect, like when you see the previews of Fuji and her baby, you think she's going to protect herself, like move any closer and I'll kill myself. No, it's like, oh, okay, he has to die, so we're all gonna die. And then the same thing with Mariko. It's like, oh, it's I couldn't die and I'm alive, and that is the worst thing ever. And you're just like, wow.
Yeah, and really, like this is where I think Toranaga is good, or in this story, anyways, is that he doesn't like to just expend his resources. Like he's keeping people alive. The spy gets caught, and he's like, "Well, I guess we have to have a different spy then because you're my samurai. I need you, so someone else will have to be the spy." And that's episode 5. But and here as well, I love this play, this whole thing where he lands, and it's a whole like he comes on shore and they're all celebrating him, and then he fucks off. Like, and Yabusugi doesn't see it until he's already gone. He's like waving his fan at him, and people are cheering, and he's like, "Oh shit, now I'm stuck with this." And he just moves and moves and moves, and he doesn't wait. And it's fun to watch him.
Well, the other thing about that scene is Yobunagi, I guess that's his name. The dude with like the raven feather thing that's playing both sides.
Yeah.
He steps out. Those are his troops. This is his province.
Yeah.
His that's his nephew, I think, that is running the village. Anyway, these guys are out here. They're all cheering for him.
Yeah.
And then the leader shows up and he basically says, move over. I'm going to take this over right now, which he has the right to do because he's actually his lord. And then his troops start cheering for him. And this is where he starts to get a sour look on his face. Like, man, this guy stole my thunder. And then you're right. He's like looking around and kind of proud at the same time. And then he's like, wait, this guy bounced on me.
They broke out the good sake for it too.
Yeah, exactly. He got the good sake. And then the old lady's like, man, we should have got the crappy sake. Because the whole town is like running around trying to clean up and make it look good because they think this guy's coming to stay.
Yep.
And he just basically is like, okay, deuces, I'm out.
I'm out.
And so now they're stuck, and they get stuck with the barbarian. Now you got to treat this dude like a Hatamoto.
That's
and
right.
give him a place to live. And this dude he just got there.
Yeah.
And then to kind of jump ahead a little bit, everyone's like, oh, Buntaro's he's a piece of crap and he's an abusive dick. No, he's not. He's literally worried about Adams is the guy that your wife tells you not to worry about, that your girl tells you not to worry about. Don't worry about him. He's just a friend, right? So that's basically what the dynamic is when he shows back up, and everyone's totally surprised that he's alive. But I think, Zach, you said it a long time ago. You saw it coming because you didn't actually see him die.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because that's why they didn't show him dying on the dock. He ran back into the town, which made no sense for anyone except for they're going to not kill him.
You know what? I think they let him live. I don't think if they wanted to kill him, they would have killed him. I think they let him live, and I think he is going to, mess things up in their camp. I think he's a treacherous person.
It was so stupid though, like the way it was shot. Like he just exited stage right. And just disappeared.
Yes.
And you're like, oh yeah, he's not coming back. Of course not. Like you knew he was coming back.
That makes Toranaga so good as a leader is to go back to that scene is because he's on the dock and it's kind of like there was room on the Rose had room on the door thing. Like they could have went back and got him. Come on, but they didn't. So they left him there. But he was like, all right, I'm going to die. I'm going to bow to my Lord. And the Lord bows back to him, showing him great respect. That's a huge show of respect for him. Like to be able to do that. And then, so he runs off and,
but Shield, then he becomes a retard and he has a bottleneck where he has the advantage, but instead he runs right up to them.
Well, they had to do that so that because he figured he was going to die with honor. But they also had to do that because if you left him there's no way you could have been like, well, I guess he didn't die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's so silly his story too. Like it's all, oh yeah, like I almost died, and then I met 20 Ronin in the woods, and the whole bus clapped.
To be fair, this isn't a Marvel movie either, so
yeah,
we could have assumed that he did die.
I thought that he did. I thought he.
I totally did.
Well, I didn't think he did because they would have showed it on the the dock, but because that would have. But if he's going to live, he can't be on the dock because they'd still be sailing away, and he's like killed all of his enemies. Just him standing there still. You could then go back and pick him up probably, but they don't want that to happen, so has to be a mystery off to the side.
That would be fucking hilarious, though.
It would be.
It's surrounded by 50 bodies, and they're like, no, we're leaving him. We made the decision
still too late
already.
now.
Yeah,
we can't
Sorry,
turn around.
No.
Yeah, people are just walking by and just like, hey, wait.
I guess there had to be certain considerations to like make it a linchpin in the story or something, but I personally don't see him as a bad guy like a lot of other people do. They're like, oh, he's abusive and all this kind of stuff. Well, I think he clued into the fact that, pretty quickly he was able to ascertain that Mariko probably, because Lady Fuji actually put that into his he's like,
gift.
Does he make you pillow with him? And she's like, nah, he likes other ladies.
Yeah.
So,
wink, wink.
So he's like, oh man, damn it.
He goes impossible.
Harimoto.
But in Mariko's defense, I don't think she would have did what she did with Blackthorne if she thought her husband was
Oh, no way.
No.
Plus, here's the other thing you have to keep in mind. She has a son with him.
I think
what happened to the kid.
Dude,
Her whole thing is standing on top of tradition and teaching him. There's no way she would have did that if she thought he was alive.
I love the fact that he dies or just fucks off the stage right, and then she's just like, oh, okay, well that's happening. Okay.
Well, that's something
there's-
that they mentioned in the book.
The time
that they
the
don't
time
do a good
jump.
job of mentioning here is Blackthorne is supposed to be like a specimen. He's taller than everybody
Right.
else. He's built.
Yeah, but Lady Mariko just didn't give a shit that her husband just died. She's just like, well,
Because he's a dick. He gets drunk and beats her up.
I think she doesn't care about the traditions. I think she's just.
He won't
I
let
think-
her kill herself. For
Yeah,
honor.
That's why she doesn't like him, is because he will not let her kill himself.
Even during that dinner scene, he's like, tell him. He's antagonizing her because at this point in time, women are property.
Based.
But you have to look at you have to look at it from his point of view. Okay, I know we're jumping way ahead, but from Utaro's
Don's
point of
back.
He had honor and he married her, and it was a good marriage. Then her father turned around and assassinated the current leader of Japan, basically. So all of her family gets killed in disgrace, but she doesn't get killed because she was married to him. So basically, her allegiance goes to his family. But now he looks like crap because he's married to the daughter of a traitor, and it really hurts his family and his honor.
I guess that's
will
why he didn't
say,
like her.
When it was revealed that he was alive, I kind of went, because like I was really enjoying Mariko and Blackthorne having their, like I said, their My Fair Lady thing where, she's teaching him Japanese. I didn't know that he had 6 months to learn it or they were going to kill a whole village. But also, I really enjoyed when Fuji kind of said he's like, what's it like to lay with a barbarian? And she's like, no, I'm with Hamato, or what's his title?
Yeah, Hatamoto.
Yeah,
Hatamoto,
she's like,
right.
so I wouldn't know. And he kind of got really pissed there. You tell like he really hates this entire situation. And then when she kind of hints that he banged his wife, that's that leads to one of my favorite scenes in this entire series. And I know we're gonna get to it, but the dinner scene, everybody is just acting their ass off in that scene.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the actress that plays Lady Fuji, and I like her character so much, is she emotes. She doesn't.
Oh
say
my God, she has no lines in that
She has
scene.
no
and
lines,
she's like,
but she emotes so much.
Yeah,
And-
that's so good.
That's true.
And the real reason I like her is because of the way her face emotes that, it like triggers this protective instinct in me. Like, it's weird. I don't know. Just
I like
Go
her.
on.
Episode 5, I thought it was based. That first of all the gun stuff with her is pretty based. But that
Oh,
scene
hell
where,
yeah.
where he goes running into the bedroom, she's like, "Don't go in there," and she's like, hands him the gun at the same time, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm good. I got your back." That stuff was pretty awesome.
That's because she's his consort, and that it's her duty to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the real problem: is that Toranaga made them all live together in the same house. That was
Yes, that was a problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but no,
technically,
she is. I guess today we would call her a bottom bitch. She is a top-notch bottom bitch. Yeah, that scene where they're trying to take Blackthorne's guns away.
Yep.
And and Skunkhead is who is that dickhead? I know he's
Copa.
Yeah.
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 Good.
Yeah.
He's the son of what's his name? The lord of the village.
It's his arrogance is excellent. It's played really well. You kind of want to see that thing shit on. There's another favorite thing that I like is Blackthorne is always saying in English these very inventive insults to him where he's calling him like
Your hair looks like a tail of a pony.
that one made me laugh out loud. But
I know, right?
Even the other one where he's calling him like I think he calls him a cum stain at one point.
they called him a shit stain.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, shit stain. Yeah.
Yeah, shit stain. Yep.
That's not as good.
No.
Yeah, it's not. Nah, nothing beats calling.
I have a question for you guys. Zach's going through these slides here. and they all basically look identical compared to this guy. Like, can you tell them apart? They all look the same.
I think that's the thing. Like, I think if you're not used to seeing a bunch of people from a different place than you, it's hard to tell people apart. But
That's very funny that you say
Are
that.
there more than one of them? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they look looks like the
July
same.
thought,
This looks like a Eddie Murphy movie.
Scandinavian women
Like the
were
clones.
Slavic.
Wait, it's
They're
just clones
they're
of
like-
each other, right?
They're like minions. Some of them
Yeah,
have
yeah.
different clothing.
It's funny you
Just
say that
yellow
One
short
eye,
people
two
running
eyes.
around, huh?
because
Yeah.
Japanese people think that all Westerners look alike. Like, they
This is
can't
where-
tell the difference.
It's
This is where we
true.
find out that Blackthorne finds out that the deal has been changed and he doesn't actually have his boat back. And his crew has to be dead somewhere for sure because they just can't find them right now. They're shuffled away somewhere else.
They're
Edo,
they're
right?
for real locked up.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, they only
Yeah.
kept that one guy. They're in
Yeah.
Edo, which is modern day Tokyo.
I have something to say about Cosmo Jarvis's acting. I feel like he always has gum in his mouth. Like, where they're like, hey, spit your gum out. And he's like, it's out.
So that's the other thing about the 1980
Spit it out.
Spit it out.
Blackthorne and Cosmo. In the books, he's supposed to be blonde with blue eyes,
Okay.
and that really sets him apart.
Right.
Because that's so rare there that people think that your hair is, if you're blonde, that your hair is made of gold, and it's good luck to touch it. So when I was there, especially as a kid, when my hair was much blonder than it is now,
Nice.
I'd be like walking around, and kids would touch my hair, and then real quick, and then they go peace, like basically like try to do it.
You were a god and you moved away.
But once you understand
the microaggression towards black people.
Yeah.
well, that's the other thing. If you're black in Japan, they like that too. So,
Wow.
yeah.
They're
I
very
feel like
welcoming people in Japan. Like they really are open to all races of people at any time. And
Which is
they're like,
not
come
how
on
it
in,
was.
more immigration. Come on, guys, you gotta live here.
If you want to experience some real racism as a
I do.
non-person of color, go there and try to go into certain clubs, bars, or restaurants will let you in, but certain kinds of bars, you will be barred from it. No questions asked. You can't get in. So,
Shieldwall, you're tall though, aren't you?
I'm 5'11" and a half.
Oh, well, you're tall for Japan. So, like, how would they stop you from going into a bar?
Well, they would stop you. I mean, basically to tell you,
Please, sir, don't hurt me. Don't come into this bar, or I'll kill myself.
Okay, well, he's not an ogre either. I mean,
but you don't want to mess with the cops there though, too, because their justice system is a lot different than ours.
well, they just had that. What is he? A
factor, wouldn't they?
TikToker who was starting a bunch of shit. What is it, Anthony Somali or whatever the hell his name was? He was going into Japan and making a fool of himself. And I mean, they were going to throw the book at him. I think they just ended up deporting him. But
So Shieldwall, I got a
they
question.
still
Did
don't
you-
fuck around in Japan.
He's right, yeah.
There was a lot of speculation on how this guy was going to be punished, making a fool of himself in Japan, and they knew that he was an online personality, and they gave him a break. But I mean, there's a lot of customs and stuff that you would not think in modern day Japan, and there's reasons that they don't like Westerners. It was like I learned the other day, you're not supposed to hand the cashier money. You're supposed to set it in a dish. In front of, I was like, it's simple things like that will piss them off. And the same thing's going on with Blackthorne right now, where there's certain things these people stand on tradition. They're very hardcore about it. So another thing they mention a lot in the book is his bathing habits. I think they make it more of a comedy in the other adaptation, where they try to trick him into bathing and everything. And they look down on him for that. And he even says it in one of the episodes. He's like, you want me to bathe more than once a week? And these people, their minds are just blown because they can't accept the fact that cleanliness is a very big thing in Japanese.
Well, the Europeans thought that if you bathe too much, it would make you sick. because most of their water wasn't clean.
Yes.
Right. So if you bathed too much, it would take
Well,
the basically the oils on your skin protected you from disease.
If I'm not mistaken, the mead was cleaner than the water.
Well, it's because you had to boil it to make it.
Absolutely, but my point remains valid. Drinking alcohol was cleaner than the drinking water.
Don't walk on the moss.
You had a question, Gooch?
No, I was just going to
feel
say,
that
like,
way. Like seriously, I've the garden, like that's disrespectful, dude. Like, look at those rocks. I really like the gardens there.
Yeah, they're cool gardens.
it's a two-parter actually. Like, it gets really cool when he learns how to Tokyo drift, and he the Japanese really get pissed off when he beats them Tokyo drifting. And the second part, Shieldwall, did you do any Tokyo drifting when you were in Japan?
Ooh.
No.
Oh.
But when I lived in Okinawa, they were doing it down in the capital. When I was in high school, there were a lot of kids that were going down there. That was in the 80s, so like it was just starting.
Ooh, like Initial D times.
Right.
Oh my god, I love this scene. I love this scene so much.
That's great. But first, I want to say, so mostly if you screw up in Japan, you go to jail, but there's a small chance you get given a consort and a house. Right?
Yeah.
Might be worth it. Yeah.
Let's try.
But see, okay, so here's the other thing about people think, oh, look at how subservient all the women are and all this kind of stuff. But what you see throughout this the show is that they have a lot, they can exert a lot of power in the background. That's where they're really good at. They take care of what's going on in the house. They run the house very well, take care of the finances, all that kind of stuff. And in the end of episode 5, you see that Lady Ochiba comes back, and that guy comes in as basically groveling. He's the head dude of basically the whole country right now.
Yeah.
And she has got him wrapped around her little finger and is telling him what to do. And that's how it always works. And it won't be direct like her most of the time. It'll be like this. Why did he give her the guns? Because of the way she asked.
Right. Yeah. They definitely, you can see that.
He didn't know that. Mariko told her.
Well,
No. But it doesn't matter. It's her power of femininity that got him to deconflict that whole position. And then this guy wants to like give me the guns, and she's gonna shoot him with it, and she can get away with it not only because of her position, but because she's a woman of high standing. You just can't be like one of these ones in the background.
Yeah, there she is.
But that transcends all of the different levels of hierarchy. So the person behind him that's against the wall, she has that same power over like people of her station. So, but it's a whole femininity thing.
Right.
Oh, hold on. Powerful women. All right, I'm out of here.
Well, they have to ask nicely, though, Don. They have to ask nicely.
Right. They have to
they're
ask.
not really asking. They're kind of telling, but it's an asking kind of way.
But what I'm saying is that's what people don't understand is that's the power that they wielded behind the scenes. It was all behind the scenes. It wasn't very overt.
Shield, let me ask you, 'cause, and maybe we already went over it. But why doesn't she touch anything with her bare hands?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure, because in the 1981, she just grabs them.
Yeah.
So I think it has something to do with she doesn't want to touch it because I'm not really sure. Because it looks
I think
cute,
they're under
like,
the
doing it that
impression
way.
that he's just filthy.
I don't know, because she touches her swords with the same way when she gives it to him.
Yeah, when she hands him her swords.
That's right.
But maybe women like of her station weren't supposed to touch her weapons or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, that makes sense.
That was a really,
Or does it have to do with something
really
with,
touching
like,
scene when
something because it's a weapon of death?
When he gives her the guns, and she gives him the swords. Again, just amazing acting.
Yeah, I have to say, like Cosmo Jarvis, the first couple episodes, he was overacting his ass off, and they were running circles.
He was chewing the scenery pretty good.
Yeah, and everybody around him was just like running circles around him. But now that he's settling down here in these couple of episodes, he's actually like really holding his own with everybody else.
Well,
This
even
chick-
in that scene, we always keep going back to the dinner scene where they're firing the arrows at Mariko's, and he is just appalled, and he's appalled in the same way when that dude was pissing on him in the first episode.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what I mean? He's made it very clear how much he respects women. He hasn't besides the midnight gift.
Yeah, gross.
Oh well, what? No, I would love Mariko to.
Sure.
But,
I mean, respecting her. Ugh.
That company.
Is this the eightfold fence you're talking about here? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think William Richards in the chat has it. Women aren't supposed to touch unladylike things. Although Jacob does point out, and you see it later in, like, it was in a trailer and stuff. And when Toranaga was trying to escape Osaka and they were in the woods and they got ambushed, women of station, okay, not just regular women like servants and stuff, but women that serve a highborn household that are of samurai lineage, they have a responsibility to protect the house. So they do learn how to fight with the naginata, which is like a big long stick with like a big blade on it. And that is a real thing. It really happened. It's not like made up or like DEI or anything.
Right.
Well, it was because it was a defensive weapon and they could be used at a distance. And that's what they said in the podcast afterwards, is they took great care to show you that every time that those women had those weapons, they didn't rush in and start going all girl boss. They took defensive positions, and that's what you would do with a long weapon like that.
I love that it's the idea that it was DEI that, okay, we have to go back in time and pretend they had some kind of, we'll give them a stick.
Yeah.
They can have a stick. We'll say they had a stick and that they used it defensively.
Well,
that's fine, right?
The way things are now, that'd be the first conclusion anybody came to was, why are they, especially in kimonos, they're so restrictive.
True.
That it's super hard to fight in that.
But goddamn it, they look good.
Yeah.
But the thing, like when they were getting ambushed in the forest, Mariko takes out like 10 dudes. This is one of the nitpicks that I had, is she takes out like 10 dudes with the staff, and Blackthorne is just like struggling with one guy. And then later on, and I do remember this from the miniseries in the book, it looks like Mariko is going to take out like 10 samurais with a staff. And that shit to me, I'm like, okay, like you're going a little too far with the actual lore of Japan and women and training as samurai.
I have less a problem with it if it's actually in the book or the 1981, then that was for sure in the book. They weren't doing any DI crap back in 1980.
Right.
So, and I mean, I get it. It's not a historical, it's based on history, but it's still going to take, who said that? Naginata, please.
Guru, yeah.
But so, yeah, I kind of felt the same way about that. Copa was like, okay.
Getting called out, Copa.
Well, yeah, okay. She killed 3 guys and
whatever. But here's the thing:
exactly.
They weren't wearing armor.
Wow.
Well, that
Thank you,
goes back
Shield.
to what this is what I said last week. Like, she was in a special spot where she was learning like the 5 rings, right? So she would learn not just one art; she would learn multiple arts. So fighting would be one of them, like archery would be one of them, like writing and translation would be another one. She would have multiple trainings. So like it would make sense to me because of the position she's in.
Well, Gooch, also, they don't make a good job of this, but women, especially like the wives and stuff of samurai, they were charged with guarding the village when the men were away fighting. So like these women all knew how to get down. So I mean, it's not I guess that far-fetched that they would know how to handle these weapons or have some sort of grasp on how to take out a couple people. And Blackthorne has made it very clear that he hasn't fought in a lot of hand-to-hand battles. Even though he's supposed, I believe in the book, he's supposed to be a skilled swordsman. He makes it very clear in all of this that the extent of his knowledge is naval based. And that's so
Dempsey.
Count the rings.
Let me tell you something about English naval tactics. It's funny.
Now,
Chinese.
the
Chinese,
cannons
not
that he
Japanese.
had on his boat were different than the ones that the Portuguese have, because the reason that the English were able to beat the Spanish Armada, which had superior numbers and much bigger ships, is because they had longer range cannons that were of a specific design that the Spanish didn't have, which is translated into these cannons here that we see, which is why they're more accurate and can shoot farther than
Thank
what
you,
the
AJ.
Portuguese have.
Nothing like a black man saying he's disappearing like Mary Poppins.
That's right.
He's gotta say, "I'm Mary Poppins, yo."
I'm Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking that too, William. Like, they're all tiny people. Like, so they might have an issue if the Vikings somehow raided them. The chicks would probably have a bit of a struggle.
But also the people, if I'm trying to recall, if she took out people without armor, most of those guys were just like conscripts, basically. They were just like, here you go. But because, so all the guys with like the conical hats in the army and they got like spears and stuff, those are not samurai. Those are just like dudes that they got and threw armor on them. I mean, because they didn't really have standing armies. So they'd be like farmers or something, and they train them up in a militia. It's only the guys wearing like the samurai helmets with the like wings and stuff on them and using swords are the guys that are actual full-time. Oh, there we go. Full-time samurai.
And so, boats. That's my
hose. Boats and hose.
Boats. Yeah.
Boats and hose.
So he's showing off the cannons and how they work and how he can actually hit stuff with them. And they don't believe him, of course. And he's right about this. And I like how he turned this around to use naval tactics. And that instead of trying to I thought he was going to make up a battle he was in. That would be a bad idea. And she was clear about that. And I like their interplay, the two characters. That's where they really get good with her translating of him and then warning him not to say something stupid or not to make this up at the same time.
What's interesting is that you're hearing the dialogue twice and it's not boring whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
It's fantastic. I was worried about how those scenes were going to play out between her translating what everybody's saying. Like, are we going to get bored with this as the audience? And they definitely have a nice little flair, and there's a lot of good dynamic between the three of them.
Yes,
I come to find they've been some of the most intriguing.
They are,
because he's still very brash, and she's, like I said, she stands on tradition. It was like the way that she translates things. I always keep going back to the goddamn dinner scene, but what she chooses to tell and not to tell, and just Fuji looking over, it's incredible. It is incredible. This is definitely an actor's show, and it's because of the subtlety it takes for some of these scenes right here. And I don't think a lot of people could pull it off. I really don't. No. I think this is like perfect casting as far as the women go. For me, I think the women are actually like carrying this show besides Toranaga and Blackthorne. Everybody else is just filler.
Well, the interesting thing about Blackthorne's relationship with Mariko that we have to keep in mind is she is literally the only person he can talk to. So,
and she's hot, so that works.
Right.
Yeah.
And so but his entire
Mhm.
world
Zoom in.
basically of communication enhance
Enhance.
is
Enhance.
her. Now he is learning, and he's
Snoo.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so he's learning these things, but for now, and here's the other thing: she's writing down literally everything he says and does.
Mhm.
But I wonder if she put like, "Hey, we banged" in there. I don't know if that's in that journal.
Might be.
Probably not.
Hashtag we bang.
Bang, yeah. But
we bang.
the other thing that's important to remember is that she's also Catholic,
Gooch.
which is another whole
Right.
aspect of it. So
True.
she basically now she's subject to 3 masters: Lord Toranaga, Christianity, and Japanese tradition. And then maybe even 4th if you think about Blackthorne. She has to worry about him and what he wants
Yeah.
and stuff. So the whole 8-fold fence thing that this is titled is very apt for it.
I think that some of the most tense scenes are actually the ones where she's translating for him. It's
Oh yeah, I said the exact same thing. That those are the scenes that have been doing it for me time after time.
so this Josen guy shows up and he's like, go turn yourself in to commit seppuku, and then our boy Yabashugi is like, nah.
I did love that scene where he's like, "Come on, man, we're boys. How long
Yeah.
have we known each other?"
Yeah.
Bush brings up a really good thing. Is that so? She's a high class like courtesan, basically hooker, and in the previous scene where the one dude was naked with her, what are the chances that she's a spy for somebody?
Oh, of course. I mean, the way
Yeah.
she's acting, like she's quite obvious.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think that's
you know,
right.
I mean, if you're going to give up secrets, I guess that's the way to do it.
They do seem to do that though. They talk more openly than I would expect with their consorts, and I guess
But
Yeah.
see,
with their servants nearby. Like they don't.
But it's also like Omi, and he's kind of not the sharpest tool in the shed.
No.
I like
true.
how Boosh is shocked that this might be the first and only time that Kai gave up political secrets after banging a chick.
Yeah, true.
I know we're skipping
So-
ahead, but in episode 5, when Toranaga's like grilling him afterwards, it's almost comical because I think we can all agree that Toranaga is the smartest guy in any room that he walked in. And you know, he says something akin to, "You understand everything as always." And he's like, "You're goddamn right I do." And it was like, "And you know what? We're gonna give it to your fucking nephew. I'm not gonna give it to my son because he's an asshole. I'm not gonna give it to you because I don't know if I can trust you anymore.
Right.
But your nephew, who still has to answer to you, by the way, it's almost like a compliment and a slight at the same time. It's absolutely brilliantly played."
Mhm.
Well, the thing about Toranaga is he uses everybody as an asset.
Does.
And because Yoshi, whatever you say his name is, the guy that's playing both sides, he shows up in Osaka right before they try to escape, and he's like, he thinks he's dead, and he thinks he's going to kill him, but he's like, "Nah, I'll keep you around." And he's like, "Go, do my stuff for me." So right now he's stuck between these 2 leaders, and Toranaga knows that he is, but I think he's just letting him string along until he can figure out like what's the best way to use him. He's still useful now.
Hey, Tina.
Even after my favorite part in all this, the dinner scene.
Oh, yes.
What happens after they get presented in front of Toranaga? He looks at Mariko and goes, "This guy can do whatever he wants with his wife, but he cannot harm my translator right now." He looks at everybody for what they have to offer and what is important in the here and now.
That was so funny. He's like, "Enough of this nonsense," and just walks away.
So
Yes, he does.
That was great too.
Grow up. Tell him to grow
I
up.
ain't got time for
Yeah,
this.
grow up.
But,
Enough of this nonsense.
but this scene right here is really builds that relationship. With
This is
Lady
great,
Luigi
too.
because he gives her the guns.
Yeah.
Or a
Yeah,
gun.
that
I
was
think.
good.
This is that scene here.
Yeah, this is
Which-
one of my favorite things.
It's a key scene for the show, really.
And this is when she figures out he's not just some like barbaric dick.
Yeah.
And also, I think this is when Lady Mariko is like, I think I'm gonna hit that.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I think
like,
I think
sure.
that's when she decides she's gonna give him that midnight gift.
Yeah, I'm going to hit that like my husband hits me.
Well,
Later
she also
Melvin-
thinks her husband's dead at this point anyway. So
Right, exactly. But so, and there's layers and layers to this because the swords that she gives him, we find out later on, there's not a lot of honor attached to them.
I
No.
know.
they make that
Like we're
point
all
when it was
just
like,
pretending for her sake. That's
Right.
sad.
But to her, she believes that to be true, though. So even though
Right.
everyone else doesn't,
Mhm.
everyone knows the truth, she doesn't. So they mean a lot to her.
So her father basically died in disgrace, begging for his life, and lost his swords through that. So her grandfather bought these swords from a drunk samurai for 3 bags of rice and gave them to her, saying that these are your father's swords. So she cherishes them. So when he gives her the gun, she reciprocates by giving him swords, which also, as a Hatimoto, he has the right to wear, but nobody's given him any because they're like hard to come by, I guess. And why would anybody give them to him? You don't even know if you can use them. So, but the swords are more of also, are not just an offensive weapon and a thing to defend yourself
status
with.
symbol,
It's a
right?
Yeah, it's a
status symbol,
status symbol.
exactly. And by wearing a gun around, they're just gonna be okay. This is some weirdo. But wearing swords, it shows him that
well,
that
when
he
they
has that rank.
when they see him with the swords on, they're like, "What is the world coming to?" I can't believe that they actually, before it was just they wanted his
Later, Mike.
naval intel, but now they've actually given him swords. I can't believe this.
Right.
I also like when you find out the value of the swords that was given. It's kind of like when a girl with a lazy eye winks at you. It was like we pretend. All right,
But she doesn't know that. And see, again,
No.
she's covering her hands.
Yeah, you wouldn't
with
tell
those
her.
sleeves. So, very.
And this back at the interesting cultural mix of, well, like, am I insulting her? Is he actually supposed to accept these swords, or is that like a fake gift?
What
You
does
know?
she say when he gives her the gun? She's like, "I'd rather pull a gourd from a
horse." Yeah. Yes.
Like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Then
but
Mariko
burn.
explains that this is a big
Yeah.
deal. He's really heartfelt giving you this gift,
Mhm.
and he thinks,
Oh yeah,
it's a big deal. And then she gives him the swords, which to me is a bigger deal than what he did for her,
absolutely.
because it's a family thing, and he doesn't want to accept it at first because that's the polite thing to do.
Oh, good night, Melvin.
And so that's very important. Basically, this is where they build this mutual respect.
Isn't
The
it
other
like
thing is
in
that he
Japanese
could've-
tradition where like basically if you have swords in your family and you're not using them, you take them out and like burn incense in front of them, clean them once a year, and like honor your aunt. Like it's a huge deal. Like it's not like she just basically gave this guy her entire family photo album. What she thinks, it was like little did she know that
Yeah.
he.
But they're
hopped-
tainted. They're tainted though because he spoke out. to his
Yeah,
sword,
but
so
she like we said, it's the lazy eye thing. She doesn't know that. We're all gonna humor her.
Right. Everyone in their tight inner circle, they know that those swords are not what they're supposed to be, but she doesn't know that because of protecting her. Because not only to preserve her honor, but also she just lost her kid and her husband.
God,
because
I
her-
forgot
Hey,
about
Kevin,
her
that.
husband was a complete knucklehead,
Yeah.
and he would have
Just
known
a
better than drawing the
dummy.
sword like that. That's instant death. If you
That
do
was
that.
that was absolutely retarded, by the way. Where there were you had all these men in a room, no one else were speaking but these two guys. Everything is about your like stance in society on this. And he's like, no, talk to Wes. It was like, no. Shut up, kill yourself. Although he literally said, he was like, hey, I didn't mean this. What if I have this idiot kill himself? Is that gonna No. I'll have his son kill himself. We'll kill his son too. We will end his family line.
Yes. Well, he
because
offers
it was
that,
so
though.
Yeah.
Right.
It was his idea.
That's how hardcore these people are.
He doesn't know how to negotiate at all. You don't start with, I'll kill my whole family. right?
I
You're
know,
like,
right?
Yeah, lowball a little bit.
That's
But
the other
my
thing.
cousin is an
I
asshole. We'll
got
take
a
him out
dog. Let
first.
me kill
But
the
that's
dog.
what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying Mariko. I think Mariko has trouble with the traditions, and you see that with her.
As
so
a
does
Christian,
Toranaga.
too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
No, but
Toranaga
she's
even
also so drawn to
Yes, I
But
totally
honor
agree
her
with that.
family. She wants to kill herself in the same veil. So it's such a wonderful dynamic.
But Toranaga also has a problem with the killing and the death. He mentions that in episode
Yeah.
1. He says all this unnecessary killing is just getting to him.
Because it's stupid.
Well,
It
that's
is
the other
it
stupid.
thing.
really
Though,
is. Like,
that
oh my gosh, I said the wrong thing. Better KYS, you know?
Yeah.
he reckoned. That's the other thing about Toranaga, though, is okay. So when Buntaro was gonna get stuck at the docks, he gave him some respect by bowing to him and
Sure.
recognizing him, saying, "Hey, I recognize you." But he also did that for the guy that had to kill himself and his baby. Is he said he apologized. He's like, "Sorry, Lord, that I had to do that." And he's like, "Don't be sorry." Basically, he was happy that he stood up for him like that, even though he wasn't supposed to.
Mm.
So he was proud of him for doing that, even though and sad at the same time, because but that's why it's so complicated.
Well, the beautiful thing about this episode, like episode 5, is like you see that with Mariko and you see it with Toranaga, and then you have Blackthorne at the end, like just torn to bits that
Horrified,
this gardener, that he killed a man for no reason, basically.
I'm gonna make a comparison, and I want you guys to follow me because I see a lot of parallels in the same thing. It's like in The Godfather, when Sonny speaks out of turn.
Best movie he ever made. Go ahead.
I completely agree. Where when you know, don't ever let anyone know what you're thinking outside the family again. That whole, but when Sonny says that, he lets them know that there's an opening. And that's entirely how this society is, where it was like you just gave them information.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mean to. You did it out of respect for me.
Another Godfather parallel is Toranaga's son is fucking Fredo. Just a fucking idiot.
Fucking
right.
True.
I was totally thinking that. I
was waiting during the earthquake for him to go, Papa.
Yeah.
There's a historical way to know that goes. So Toranaga is based off of Tokugawa Ieyasu, who becomes the shogun of the overall.
Spoilers.
Oh, dude, spoiler. Whoa.
I'm
Great.
not even gonna watch the show now.
What's the show called again?
Yeah.
Anyway, but in the history books, right? So everybody as a school kid learns that, right, in Japan, but nobody knows who the son's name is. They don't know anything about the guy. So that just shows you that he never goes on to really do much.
Well, so he's the limp dick of the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he might, but he's just not, like nobody remembers what George Washington's kids were called.
I think we've missed something important though, because the swords are valuable to Blackthorne now, but he doesn't know yet that with those swords you can cut a musket ball in half with no problem.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Gooch? Yeah? Once he finds that out.
If you get it at the right angle, you can cut that musket ball in half and
no problem.
kill the two guys behind you.
Here's the other dynamic is she gives him the swords. He thinks they're great. It isn't until episode 5 at the dinner that is it the dinner? No, it's after the dinner. After the dinner and everything's gone to crap, that he finds out that in fact they weren't worth anything. But then later in episode 5, they
gives
become
them
worth a lot more than they ever were before.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we missed it. That was the part where she shows up at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bangs her.
So it was a little dark, and I was like, "Is that?" Or is
no, we didn't see any boobs. I looked closely.
Yeah, no, they really did a good job of darkening those
I just sit
those
through
puppies
that
out.
Disgusting scene 9
I had to use my imagination.
Yeah.
I was working out during this scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Working,
in my house.
working out.
Yeah, he was working out his forearms. Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing the shake weight.
Oh yeah.
That's the best exercise ever.
Yes.
So she comes, they hook up. He's like, "Oh, that was you," and she pretends it wasn't. But everyone in the house
did you
knows
like
it.
that
happened.
cookie that I
little-
sent you last night?
No, the thumbnail right there. Oh yeah.
Look at her. Look at her.
Anyone
Look at
has
Lady
ever had
Fuji.
like a
She
one
knows
night
what's up.
stand and can't talk about it the next day, that is
But
like
also, look at Lady Fuji. She's like, hey, I know what's up, and also, whew, glad that wasn't me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want your barbarian dick inside of me.
She kind of does though.
Yeah, she's
She's getting
intrigued by
there.
him, for sure.
And that's the other dynamic is because of the way that she's his consort. If that's how he wanted to go, she'd have to go that way.
Look at him. Look at Fredo there.
I'm
I'm smart. I'm smart. I deserve respect.
I've got a plan. What could go wrong?
vote for Pedro.
Yeah, vote for Pedro.
You know what?
I got passed over, Yoshi.
I got passed.
I like this part for two reasons. Like
Yeah.
one, like remember how I said I would like that there wasn't a lot of really graphic violence. So when you get to this part and it's very graphic, it's like shocking. And they do that well. They can do the somebody understands like cinema and storytelling well enough to make that good. And then the other thing is like, I'm glad he did something. I'm sick of everyone pretending like, oh my God, we're not totally at war. It's like the minute you left Osaka, you were at war. Like you left the castle. You were supposed to stay. You were supposed to like take yourself out. Like just stupid. Stop pretending like you're not at war.
Well, Jonna, that's how you know he's low T.
Yeah, he needs to lose that mustache.
Oh yeah.
But here's an issue I have is how did Fredo here know that that's where they were going to be positioned at to fire the cannons at them? And
I guess that's where they're positioned last time for the
Fredo.
Well, I know how he knew where they would be because they came there the day before, and that's where the cannons were, and they were coming out to see the demonstration.
And he's literally firing his cannonballs at his own men.
Okay, guys, stand right here.
Yeah,
that's basically what they did.
I'm gonna go for a ride.
Yeah, you're right, Copa. Look at those guys on the guns in front of that. What are the chances it would have hit them?
Right.
But you know what? He's like, whatever.
He doesn't care.
This is why you don't have dumb kids, everybody.
Didn't they
and then put him in
move,
charge?
Though? They like
don't put your dumb kid in charge.
Maybe
they say to move. Like
no, he.
Don't move. We're gonna take a picture. Just
so I had the same thought, but then I did look, and that's where they do the demonstration from all the time, like that spot. So he aimed at that spot. So he's lucky he could hit them with all that extra training. I guess he might have had, but yeah, I thought we were gonna have the night before they were gonna have an assassination party. And they were going to take him out that way. I was surprised they did it this way in front of everyone with cannonballs.
It felt like I really hadn't felt this way since like early Game of Thrones, where I was like, oh, you know, just with the brutality of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
everyone say cheese.
And when did they set up these cannons? Overnight, and nobody noticed?
Yeah, that must have been when they did it.
I also really like what's his face going like,
pause.
This isn't a good decision. Stop doing this. And he's
I know,
like,
right?
I want him to know. I was like, you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, I mean it's Toronaga's son, so he's not too concerned about collateral damage if he kills some of his own men. We saw that earlier too. We're like, well, you know, Ishido's men is down there as well, and like, well, we shoot them all. So it's they're not scared to kill those people.
That scene too, just before you change it over, where he's looking at him, was like, "This is what barbarians do."
Yeah,
you're a pussy.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, it is interesting because they would use the chain shot to break the masts of like ships. That's what it was used for, and yeah.
I think they're
using chain shots. Dempsey, it was like where there's two small cannonballs and they're chained together.
Yeah, and that's probably what they were using. Here. They just didn't show it because I don't know if a single cannonball would do that much damage to a person.
Yeah, this is chain shot. I think they said that.
Yeah,
chain shot. Yeah, it would totally do that. Like
that's why it's hitting them at such a wide arc.
Yeah.
They just don't really like animate it, which is fine. It just mulches them. And then this dude's laying on the ground, and that guy's like, "No, don't kill him." I'm like, "Dude, he's totally missing his leg.
He's missing an arm, leg."
Yeah.
He's so reasonable to him. He's like, I don't advise this right now. This is very brash.
It's like that cat is already
look at him
without his limbs.
He's fucking leaking coolant out of his arm.
Yeah, and then he's still talking shit the whole time. He's like, "You're a little."
It's just a leg,
Fredo.
So
it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah,
like this, he wouldn't have done But
That
if he was
great.
going into like a known battle, what they would do, the samurai, is they would make sure that they were well groomed, their head was cleaned, it was perfumed, right? That way, if they died, what you did was you took somebody's head. That's how you prove that you beat them, and you would display it to your lord, like, I beat this samurai. So as the dead samurai, you wanted to look good. You wanted your head to look nice. You didn't want it to be disrespectful and look bad, because then they'd be like, look at this guy, he's got a porn stash or whatever.
So it's the modern day equivalent of pics or it didn't happen.
Well,
Yeah.
right, but that's also how you could get promoted if you were a rank and file soldier. If you were able to kill somebody and take their head that was high ranking, you could get promoted to the samurai ranks through that means at this time. Now, after this, it wasn't the case anymore. As a matter of fact, in the episode 2, the old guy laying on the bed that's dying, he rose from being a farmer to the leader of Japan. And he made it so that no one else could do that after him. He made laws and stuff, right? But that's how he did it. And and he's the one that set up the council and all that other stuff. But 150 years prior to this time, and up to 1601 or 02, it was constant civil war. There was a shogunate before that had like a bunch of peace and stuff, and before that was like the Ghost of Tsushima stuff with the Mongols coming over.
Oh yeah,
but anyway, but they had a weak shogunate and a weak emperor, which they basically just ignored. And so they had 150 years of civil war. So by the time of this, it's just been provinces changing hands, people, family lines getting wiped out, all kinds of stuff. It was really bad.
The party.
Yeah, for a long time. So, but it was the guy that was laying on the bed. He's the one that basically unified Japan.
What's the emperor's wife, or the emperor's name? Is it the Taki or
Taiko?
They call him a Taiko, yeah.
the Taiko?
Yeah.
I like when his wife comes out at the end and gives him like, wait till they get a load of me.
Oh god.
Like,
she's giving me
no. Okay, so the
vibes.
Taiko's
Oh
she
my
gives
god.
it one.
He's the Taiko. They didn't have an actual term for him. They had to make it up because he was lowborn to put him in charge. But because he wasn't from the samurai class when he came up, so they specifically made that for him. The emperor lived in Kyoto, and basically at one point the emperor was very powerful, and whoever controlled Tokyo controlled the emperor and basically said, I have the emperor's backing to do whatever I want. But there became a time where he was so irrelevant that there was no like shenanigans with like the next emperor and the next one. It was like 15 of them in a row or something that just took over and peacefully, because all they did was just make him sit in there and do nothing. And basically just be controlled by the shoguns. So
I love how slappable the council is as well.
You never see the emperor so far in this show. He's like just out there. They didn't even talk about him. So
yeah, it's not until episode 5 you see the emperor.
And Bush is right. Kyoto didn't exist yet. It was called Edo. So, which, by the way, Toranaga controls.
Don't tell Bush he was right. He's going to keep talking in the chat.
Now it's Buntaro is back. This is episode 5. Could be a quick out of 10 rating for the episode 4. First, Copa.
Yeah, I give it a 9. Other than the canon, like you start really thinking about the canon stuff, and you're like, but yeah, 9 out of 10 for sure.
Gooch?
Good show.
I would give it a 9 out of 10 as well. It was a great. I like the acting was solid. The dialogue was fantastic, and the ending was really, really, really good. It had me on my feet. So.
Oh yeah.
Lady B.
I'd say 9 out of 10 too. And you know what's really great of this episode that we didn't talk about was the little earthquake that we had, and it's just this random thing that seems to happen, and then you get to this episode.
I think
that's baby earthquake. Yeah.
Foreshadowing and a foreshock. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
unfortunately.
Ooh. Shieldwall. What's your rating?
I really liked this episode. I'd say, yeah, it's like a 9.5 out of 10. There were like one or two things that were a little iffy, like the whole cannon placement thing. But other than that, it was great. I think it up to the point of seeing it, it was the strongest episode in the show. And then,
yeah,
so
I can see
I
that.
liked it. Yeah.
And Sammy, where are you at on this?
Standalone, I'd give it a 9. As far as the series go, I'm gonna give it an 8, simply because just from the way that the story is going, it's gonna only go upwards. So, I mean, it's a very strong episode, but I'm not gonna give it a 9 just yet because I haven't seen the whole thing.
Fair. I'm at a 9 with it. It's hard to get better, really. And we compare it to other stuff we're getting currently, which is really bad. So
yeah,
it's hard. Like I don't know if I'm giving it a fair rating or not, but it feels like a 9. So, and what I feel matters. There's Cavatino. So yeah, the 1,000 folded layers of high carbon steel. That is true.
It is honestly, in my opinion, the best show on TV right now.
I agree, 100%.
Oh, easy.
In a couple of
It
years.
It is so good that every episode I'm like, please don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
I'm waiting for that other.
I'm
shoe to
doing the
drop.
same thing.
Right, exactly.
They were like, "Hey, we hired Sweet Baby Inc. to like write the last episode for us."
No.
Bougie out of 10. Lady B.
Yeah.
We do.
This next episode will be produced by Kathleen Kennedy, and you're like,
no.
You know what I
Maybe
think
two
that
bonus.
kind of shows that this is like a good show is that like we're at episode 5 and I can clearly see the delineations of like, okay, this is act 1, this is the start of act 2. Like I was talking to Will about this when we were watching this episode, and it's like we know like, okay, how are they going to divide the rest of the acts to produce a cohesive like 3-act structure out of 10 episodes, and I love that.
Oh, and that's the other thing. John Malama is correct. It's called woke anxiety. That's what we have. We have woke PTSD.
We do.
Yep, that's true.
We're all searching for it.
Absolutely.
We're waiting for the shoe to drop and it to be a shit show. But what I wanted is a spin off of Yabushigi and Blackthorne as a buddy cop show.
Oh yeah,
Like, dude, that would be fucking amazing. Just two polar opposites having to like solve crimes throughout.
they're just in
Edo
a
Japan.
carriage, and they're like, "You should vape more.
Right.
You smell."
That's true.
Well,
Walking anxiety. It's similar to what happens if you take a girl home from the bar and like it turns out it's a dude. You don't find out till the end, and then every other time you're gonna be worried: is this really a chick?
Yeah.
Dude, it's stupid.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very specific, dude.
Yeah.
Did you get crying gamed?
No, I wish.
No, it was
Yeah,
his
I
friend.
keep hoping. Please
It
be
was
a
that
dude.
one time
It's
he
never
went
a
up to
dude.
Moose Jaw.
Yeah,
I
we
love
don't-
this scene right here because they use the incense burner to
Yes.
show how much time has gone by with these
Right.
guys just talking and talking and talking.
yeah.
And what's crazy is how paralyzed the council is because none of them want to give the other person an advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the beautiful thing about this is Toranaga is still he's winning, like because he knows that they're going through this process.
Yep.
Right.
Like that's the beautiful thing about
I
it.
think
And he knows they will do it
even
like
had
this.
that line in in one of the episodes where it was like, "Hey, you don't have 5 people giving consent. You only have a vote
Yeah.
of 4."
Toranaga's just using that technology, dude.
Yeah.
Trick-
Yep.
He's using
Technology, yeah.
technology.
Well, here's the thing that I think confuses a lot of people from the West is they're like, well, why don't they just say whatever? We'll make the rules now. They don't understand that because the Tycho demanded that they have 5 people that they can't do it because he resigned. Whereas most people be like, yeah, whatever, man. We'll just make up our own mind anyway and go attack him.
Well, the Tycho wanted to give Toranaga the whole kingdom until his
Right.
son was of age.
And he didn't want it because he knew that would cause everyone else to attack him and
Yep.
kill the son.
Absolutely.
And so by keeping it on a council of 5 and they could spread the power around and make it so that they're all fighting for power at the same time, it would actually protect the heir from being killed.
This was a scene I really enjoyed too. when
fucking
Toranaga's
kid.
son, where he's like,
Fredo.
Dad, did I do good? And he's like, no, you didn't do good. Stand in the back of the line until you can fucking learn how to think.
I'm smart.
Yeah.
I can do stuff. I'm smart.
I like it, but I'm
It is kind of funny though, because he gives a command to somebody who seems to be like arguably less capable, but I think he's kind of setting them up for something.
Okay, but as a guy, if you can one up someone while you're explaining what you're explaining to them and use a falcon as a tool to show your point, you are.
So
Look, first of all, just being a falconer is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but Fredo was a falconer too, but he's like, look how much better of a falconer I am.
So Toranaga is so smart, right, that he knows that Yorinobu and his nephew manipulated his son into doing that, right? So now he's going to give command to Yorinobu's nephew to drive a wedge between him and Yorinobu, and basically, so he's moving all these. He's playing 4D chess big time here.
And also the actor is Sanada is incredible in this. He's so subtle, and it's brilliant performance by him. He doesn't have to do a lot to let you know what's going on or what he's thinking.
Do you think he was
awesome?
Do you think he was anticipating that before he left originally?
I bet that he thought that Yorinobu was going to pull some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly. Like everything does for him.
Like he has to literally be like 2 steps ahead of that guy, and the guy's not that smart, so he is.
I'd
No,
say like 15 steps.
He brings it up. He says like, "You're on top of everything as always," and he's like, "Not only am I on top of everything, I'm gonna make you look like a buffoon, and it's gonna serve me because you're gonna be mad at your nephew who I put in control." Like the manipulation, it's not vindictive. It's for a purpose, and it's always serving him. Like there's
it's like he knows what Yabushige is gonna do. Like he's so predictable that it's like he doesn't even see him really.
Also,
at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he knew what he was gonna say before he said. You know what I mean? Like he's that type of next level, pragmatic thinkers. He is. Are we going? What's the most advanced? Is it 3D chess, 6D chess? What are y'all agreeing on chess? Because whatever it is, he's playing it.
6D chess, maybe.
I've never played more than 1D, but all I can tell you is out of all the D chess I played, he is playing it better than anyone.
So how many Ds did you actually play with?
At the same time,
I've seen a double D chest.
You gotta go on my OnlyFans. That's Sammy 3Pete at only.
The other thing about Toranaga, though, is somehow he knows that giving Blackthorne a pheasant will be a big thing for him.
Oh yeah.
I still don't know what the fuck that's all about.
Toranaga has basically left him there and hasn't talked to him for days. Or for however long.
It might even be months because there are huge
it's months,
time jumps.
definitely.
Yeah, we've already agreed that time hasn't been handled well.
And he knows a lot of Japanese throughout this show.
Yeah.
This was cast. The guy was cast like, "Can we get Tom Hardy?" And they said no.
Right. They were like, go to Fiverr.
Yeah.
Go to Dollar General. Give me a Tom Hardy.
Down the list. Did anyone see? I know this is off subject, but it was going around the internet. They were doing like perfect casting for the Teen Titans, and they were like,
"No."
It was and I don't know if this was serious or not, but like it got a lot of likes. But it was like exactly what you would expect because as you know, there's only like 5 actors in Hollywood right now. So the first one,
Timothy Chalamet.
Robin, Timothy Chambray, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Second one was Beast Boy, who played Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Third one, who's gonna play Raven? Jen Ortega.
Right.
You know, and then they couldn't think of anything, so they just said, who's gonna play Cyborg? The Rock. And it's like that's kind of how that would feel if Tom Hardy was in this role. I'm glad that they found somebody who could play Tom Hardy in a Tom Hardy-esque role. Tom Hardy would be great in this role.
Sure. He was like, it's Taboo. He was like this in Taboo. He could have played this.
The only thing that makes
or
this
the
guy
fighter, or
honestly, I think Tom Hardy's overrated.
the only thing that makes this guy good is his name is Cosmo.
Yeah,
it is a good name, and he's got like nice.
He has
Dago
name.
Nice traps.
He does the same role for every, like same acting for every role he does. It's the same thing almost.
This Japanese guy, you don't like him?
Tom Hardy.
He's too Japanese for you.
Gooch?
Tom Hardy.
Who played Tyrion? What's his face?
Tyrion what?
Tyrion Lannister.
Peter Dinklage?
Yes.
Look, let's not talk Game of Thrones. Don already left.
I'm not.
We don't need him to come back.
I had someone one time. It was just before Infinity War came out, and he looked at me. He goes, "He's the most versatile actor in Hollywood." And no, it wasn't. It was Endgame, and then because we knew he was going to be in Endgame, and then he played a giant midget, and I was like, "Yeah, so versatile."
I thought that was kind of meta, personally. But this guy does a good job. That plays the head of the council.
Because you can tell with him that he does a great job of showing us, like, every time you see him like this, that he knows he's losing, and he shouldn't be losing, but you can tell in the back of his mind he knows he's losing.
Yeah,
like he just the more it goes on, he gets more and more frustrated. And he's like
not only
by himself
that, his
now,
mouth twitches even more when he realizes that he thought he had this guy dead to rights. And he's losing more. Like, see what he's doing with his mouth, right? It becomes more and more pronounced every single time. He's like, I can't fucking believe this. This guy,
knowing that he got outsmarted and just knowing that there's nothing.
Yeah, but outsmarted 1,000 miles away, and this guy has still got the goods on him.
Yep, he knows he's gonna lose.
And then, did they show the part where the box shows up?
The who?
It's not yet. It didn't happen yet. Where he gets the package and it's old dude's head in there.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the other thing. All right, I think that the fact that the bird smelled would have been okay if Buntaro wasn't living with them, but he's out there making all these comments like this place stinks and what the hell's going on in his house, and it embarrasses Fuji because of that.
I disagree simply because the staff talked and it was almost like this is going to be an odd comparison. You know, in like Interview with a Vampire where the slaves were starting to talk because like he wasn't eating, or I would attribute it to be kind of like that, where this is so. I've already gone in, the Japanese, very cleanly people. They didn't like that. This would be like such a far out thing. They wouldn't even want to get near it. They wouldn't want to touch it. Like, they would not want to be associated with it. I mean, even the gardener was embarrassed, so much so that, he sacrificed his life.
I love how she explained how he dies too. It's like, okay, this was an old man and he had an illness. He was going to die soon and he decided to take this burden on for everyone. Yeah. And so he actually died with great honor. So even though this stupid thing that you did, like, it was actually really important, and who are you to even say that it's not?
Yeah, but I like how he takes it as, this is how bad you suck. He's
very, very upset by it. But
but she's kind of trying to explain to him the depth of the command he made because he did not understand.
Yeah, he totally didn't get that.
what
That
he's also trying
sarcasm
to
and
say
like
is
not being literal is a thing.
I didn't understand what you meant, but they're also going, everybody in the whole village was so upset by this that we made the sickly old guy like take the hit.
Yeah.
Like that's should speak volumes, and I'm sure it will in the coming episodes, because
It also, like, I think Blackthorne really just realizes how, like, foreign this is, how he doesn't understand this.
Well, Blackthorne just got an education that in this country that he's foreign to, every word has its meaning and it's life or death. Like that's how they explain it right off the bat. And when the guy just freely offers up his kid and himself to create or to commit.
Sempiku.
Yes.
Sempiku.
I was going to say something else, but you can't on YouTube. But so he Minecrafted his kid and himself, and that's just because he spoke out of turn. Some other guy speaks out of turn and they just lop his head off in the middle of the street. So words have meanings and consequences throughout this show, and I think Blackthorne got the education that he needed to get in this episode. I
want to get this comment here because I didn't. Yeah, this is news to me. The miniseries has been produced so well. Someone named Michaela Clavel, and daughter of James and Miss Smallbone and Octopussy is one of the executive producers. So the family's involved in this too.
Yeah,
so that's usually, but can be good unless you're Tolkien, then it's probably not.
Right. Well, the other thing is it's got a large Japanese crew, so they're not going to inject any woke crap into it. What?
What?
I don't remember.
Why?
No.
Go back to Yaira, dude.
But
Come on, leave it up.
Stop! I don't want to see Tom Hardy blast his nips.
But
I remember those. I remember those days. I remember.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
I think that they could have survived the pheasant thing if Buntaro hadn't come back, because they could have been able to like manage the situation, but it just kind of spiraled out of control, and then he's not around because he needs to leave real quick and just anyway. But I do know it happens in the book and it happens in the 1980 TV show, that he learns that lesson that way, and I liked how it went down in the 1980 TV show. It was a lot longer. He had more time to kind of percolate the idea that, oh crap, I did this. They kind of rush it in this one where he's like, oh, I gotta go, he dies and then I'm gonna go see Toranaga and ask to bounce out of here. In the 1981, he goes up on a hill and thinks about it, and he comes back and then he has a conversation with Fuji, and then it moves on. So I kind of like that one a little better, I think. But
Fuji from Super Dave Osborne,
lady Fuji.
Fuji,
Damn.
like the mountain.
The Super Dave reference. Hell yeah.
So this guy, I like this. He looks cool with the eye patch.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I wish
what's
that
his
guy
story?
was in Wheel of Time. Like, yeah. Be Uno.
My first thought was like, did they have eye patches? Like
You know what it's made out of, right? It's basically a sword hilt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say foreskin.
I thought so too. I thought foreskin.
Yeah, I really thought that's where it was going.
No, is that what it sounded like? Sorry.
You leave it out for a couple days, like you would have pheasant.
Well, if that's the case, then Flashes should be back soon.
Those Catholics are doing too much in this.
But look at this. I mean, it's got to be just riddled with maggots.
That is something that we have not that we haven't really talked about.
Well, Jacob Ironside looked it up. And he said that because pheasant is traditionally very tough bird, what you do, and the Europeans would do this, is you hang it out for anywhere between 3 to 5 days in a 55-degree weather or colder. But see, here's what doesn't make sense, is in the 1981, right, it didn't have all these flies around it like this. It just kind of stunk.
Their fly budget was not very good.
Yeah, well, because... I'm not sure, but it should be cold enough that there shouldn't be a bunch of flies around it, because I don't think it's like summertime or whatever. But by adding the flies, there's no way. This thing would be totally infested with maggots.
Yeah,
Bush Sanders is totally.
Missed some great comments here.
Yeah, Bush Dog says you gut it first, though.
No, you have to. Yeah, you would have to gut it.
I would think.
He just
look
tied.
like he
He
did
just tied
anything.
it.
He just
Yeah,
tied
he
it up
just
there.
tied it up
Yeah.
and put it and hung it up.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It looked cold enough to where maybe there shouldn't be fly. I don't know, but it really sells it that it stinks if you got that many flies around. I just think it'd
Yes.
be totally unedible. I think
Very
it'd be
visual.
falling apart.
Yep.
Like, have you ever seen like a time lapse of like a dead dog or something with all the maggots are in it? It looks
Oh
like
yeah, that's what I look up all the time. Time lapse of dead dogs,
science
please.
class or whatever. They talk about
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Like when they have that time lapse of the fox in the middle of the.
yeah,
horse.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
I know what you're talking about.
This
I do
this
it at
could have
work
been-
all the time.
This could be 4D chess though. This whole thing, because what they do is like with the pheasant and all that, that's fine. But she knows that if she can kill the gardener, there's going to be an earthquake, and then Blackthorne has to fix his own garden. Huh?
No, maybe.
Yep. She's planning it out.
And I like in that scene, they're eating, and she's like, "We're gonna have a lot of problem. This house is kind of cursed." And she's like, "Just eat, because we're gonna need our strength, because these guys are gonna, we're gonna have to put up with a lot more."
I like when chicks put your clothes on for you.
So here's the thing: when Buntaro shows up, and now he's at the house. What's interesting is that even though it's Blackthorne's house, when they sit down for dinner, he sits in the position of honor, of the highest ranking
really?
person in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, they always sit with their back and they face the garden, and the lowest ranking person sits on the edge of the room, which is where I think
That's where
Marco's
Blackthorne
sitting?
was sitting.
or Blackthorne sits. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't know that though. Blackthorne probably doesn't know.
And I was watching somebody's video that talked about like the seating arrangements or something.
Oh, here we go. Friendly dinner. He calls him out for his tiny cups. That's a good freeze, actually.
Oh, yeah, the drinking contest.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
like screw this little tiny
So-
glass. Like
Yeah.
I'm drinking out of the bowl.
In this exchange, right?
You remind me of my cat.
In England, we call this a big gulp.
So he wants to like show off for Buntaro. So he's like, "I'm making this rabbit stew," and nobody wants to eat it because it probably smells like crap. And he's like, "Well, it needs sherry anyway, otherwise, so take it away."
He made them soup, and everyone's like, "We have particular tastes."
But
yes.
the reason that, but if Buntaro would have just been cool about the whole thing and just not said anything about him eating his noodles, it would have never escalated. But he knows that Blackthorne, hey, he's the dude you need to worry about. Like, don't worry about, and I think he already knows that like something went down. There's like something between him and his wife. So
Well, his
he
wife was the one to worry
antagonized-
about. Like Blackthorne just was sitting there, and then
Right.
his wife attacked him basically.
So then they start having to do a dick measuring contest,
Yeah.
and then with drinking.
Control your wife.
Yes,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
the dick measuring contest is made so much more cooler by the fact that you have the translator. You have Mariko being the translator, and you have what's her face looking on, knowing it's not her place to say anything. So her entire contribution to the scene.
Look at
is
her right
facial-
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
is
She
her
knows that this
facial
is gonna.
expression.
This is not
She's
gonna.
going
end good,
like,
it's gonna
"Oh,
blow
this
Like
up."
isn't
both
good.
of the women
But
are
I-
like,
What I
Yeah.
think, what no one has got on, I think this has happened a lot of times before, where he has gotten drunk and just beat the shit out of her. So
Well,
the first, they got so apprehensive the first time he said like, "Hey, let's have a bigger drink," and she's like, no, we have small drinks, that way we can appreciate. And then they have a look of fear going like, this isn't good. So this guy,
I think. Well, she knows that he can be rough like that, but also she knows that because of his demeanor, that it could end in violence very easily, and not just against her. Like Blackthorne could seriously be hurt.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, his first little parlor trick was a demonstration of violence, where
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, wife, don't move your head. I'm gonna shoot these arrows around you." Like, say what you want about the guy, he doesn't fuck around.
Boosh. He gets drunk and hits him. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's up? Agreed.
Okay, so the thing here is, why is it rude to ask about the
He's not
escape?
Irish, Boosh. That's the problem.
Like, why is that rude?
Well, I don't think it is, but I think he really doesn't want to tell him. Also, maybe the story is not as cool as it sounds.
Yeah.
And also, he might be suffering from PTSD from the whole thing. He's just been 20 days on a run or whatever, and then who knows how long he might have had to recover from whatever wounds he had. Because I don't think that it's been 20 days since they escaped on that ship. It's been a lot longer than that.
Well, another thing too, how very what's the word? Conservative this society is. This is an extreme show of power, where if he did this in front of anybody else, in front of like the higher ups in this Japanese culture, he probably would have had to commit seppuku, where they said like, "Hey, we get your point, but like you spoke out of turn, you have to kill yourself." A display of power like this would be, because keep in mind, this is Blackthorne's household.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, this is a display of disrespect, I believe. And
this scene was cool though.
Apologizes at the end.
When she translates it, you're not sure how she's going to do it.
And that's why it's some of the best goddamn acting.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought she was going to clean it up or whatever, put herself down in the process, but she doesn't. She
just sits there like, this is like a three-way battle.
He's begging her not to tell.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I don't want to know.
Well, because she already told him at the hot tub scene that she had a past, and he was like, look, I don't care or whatever. And now she's going to tell him. But I think she needs to tell him for two reasons. One is I think she respects him enough to do it. And two is hopefully she will try to loosen the relationship between them. You know what I mean? Between her and Blackthorne. Because she needs him to know the truth so that he knows like full on who he's dealing with. So he's not, so he can treat her appropriately.
Yes.
Their customs.
Yes, but I think she's so disgusted with herself, she underestimates how much he doesn't understand Japanese like tradition yet, and it also doesn't. So when that would be like, hey guys, that would be like me going, hey guys, I eat a lot of cabbage, and you go like, okay, that's not a big deal, but it was like, oh well, no. In my culture, if I eat a lot of cabbage, that's a really, really bad thing. He doesn't understand how dishonored her family truly is, because he's trying to tell her, going like, live your life. None of this shit matters. It doesn't, I don't know who's putting all this dirty shit into your ear. It doesn't matter. And she's going, you will never be free if freedom is your only desire, because you will have nothing to aspire to. And those are two ideologies that just are gonna butt heads, and that it's beautifully portrayed. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, the other thing is that he would understand her shame or the situation, because it wasn't like Europe wasn't full of people getting overthrown and
Sure.
princes coming back and trying to kill each other and stuff. So he would understand that aspect of it, which is why I guess he doesn't really think that it's that big of a deal. But she feels that she needs to tell him. And historically, she is the daughter of this guy that committed this great treason, but in her mind, that guy was like was a bad guy and he needed to be killed. The reason that she doesn't like her husband is because he won't let her die to join her family and get that vengeance, or to get rid of her shame. But he loves her so much he won't let her do it, even though he treats her so bad. And that's why he's so mad about it, is because he really loved her, and when they got married everything was good, and within a year the whole thing goes to crap, and now he's stuck with this wife that's got a lineage of a traitor, but he's trapped in that, and he won't let her die because he loves her.
No, Shield. That's
So,
why I
I don't think
respectfully
that is
disagree.
that-
I think Blackthorne will never understand that type of thinking.
No, I'm not talking about Blackthorne. I'm talking about Buntaro. The reason
Okay.
that he is not letting her, every year she asks to die and he says no, is because he loves her. It's not because he's trying to like punish
Oh,
her.
really? I thought.
Oh
there
yeah,
was some
if he
vindictive-
thought, no, if he thought that she was really like a problem and he was so shamed by it, he would have been like, yeah, go ahead and kill yourself and I'll just remarry. The reason he doesn't let her is because he really loves her.
ADB, what were you saying?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to ask, was he loving her in the book?
Well, he's the same in all of it, because
Oh,
he's
okay,
very
okay. Because I
severe,
was
right.
like,
But
I didn't
okay,
didn't
but that
realize
doesn't-
who was talking. So I'm
But
sorry.
that doesn't mean that he won't get drunk. He gets drunk and he beats her because of Blackthorne.
Yeah.
And all the pent up frustration of having to, his wife has to hang out with this guy, and then I think he suspects what happened, which makes him even madder. So I think a lot of people from the West are like, this guy just got a wife beater on underneath his kimono and is a piece of crap. And I think it's a little more nuanced than
No,
that.
that makes more sense because of the interaction right here of them in the woods. She's like, no, like we don't have any contact anymore. Like my respect needs to be to my husband. I thought he was dead. We can't continue the relationship the way that it was going. So from here on out, I will translate for you, but you don't get to talk to me anymore.
Is that like Copa and Gooch? Did you guys get that from that, or did you take something totally different away
No, I
from
got
how
the same
Buntaro was acting?
I just didn't. When I listening to the explanation, because you've read the book, so there's more information. I didn't get that he loved her. Because we haven't really seen their relationship at all. I just thought that he was married to her, and I'm assuming that they can't divorce, and that what her family did was so dishonorable that it's kind of brought his shame down, or brought his status down, and so he can't go as high as he would have had she not.
And that's correct. It has done that to him, but because she asked permission to every year on the anniversary of the death of her family to actually either go try to avenge the people that did it or kill herself or whatever, he could be free of her easily every year, but he doesn't. So why wouldn't he do that? Especially if it's holding him back. He could remarry and all this other stuff.
I think it's to make her miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
kinda
feel
felt
like
that
there's
too,
some,
Yeah.
it's kind of vindictive. I also feel like with her wanting to do that, like I said, there's so many mixed feelings here.
Right. And then she says here she's not going to give him anything because he won't let her do that.
Right.
So she won't, like, she's not going to put out.
Yeah, she brings up
emotionally, whatever.
the eightfold gate again. Another thing too is, by the way that they've acted, is when he drinks too much, this happens, but also the disgust that is like shown about this. But I think the only reason that I don't agree with you is what is it? I cannot pronounce his name, and I swear to God, I tried to do a promo like for this and put it on Snapchat, and I keep calling Shogun Shonen because I'm like an anime guy.
Shonen. Oh my god, that's like two different things completely.
I know exactly, But what I'm getting at is he what is it? Butaro.
Yeah, he's the husband.
Yeah, no, I know. I just continually get his name wrong. He bows down, and I know that's like a big thing in Japanese culture, but he apologizes for the disruption of his household.
Yeah.
'Cause he recognizes that he's a guest and that he was being a piece of shit. He's not apologizing for, you know, taking it out on Mariko. He's apologizing that he has disrupted the peace in his household. He does not care about any of that. He doesn't care how he has treated his wife. He only cares that this is the host, and like it or not.
Oh, there we go. You're saying a good one.
Yeah.
Go on.
and I get that. I get that. And the other thing is that neither of them can kill each other because that would be an affront to the Lord.
No,
right?
you'd be killing yourself by killing another. But you know, he has stature. Blackthorne has stature in this, and you know, I think it's cool that he recognizes that. You are just killing me with these pictures right now.
I'm just saying, Yara's a good-looking chick. Just
She got
she's
that
not.
like Midwest thing going on.
All right, I'll take the hint. What I'm getting at,
No,
is there's so much more going on.
that's really zoomed in now.
And I really don't think that his feelings about Mariko have anything to do with it. I really don't.
I disagree. I think he's in love with her. The looks he gives to her when she's in the boat, when she's leaving, when they were leaving the island originally, was an indication that there's a love there still, but there's still a lot of resent like towards the family.
All right,
family, and there's they had constant looks at each other, and I think he guards himself, and has these moments with her that he wants to give in, but he can't.
Oh, you know what? I think I like that even better. Maybe he sees that Mariko didn't even understand what love was until she met Blackthorne, and now he's recognizing that, and now he's completely disgusted by the horror ordeal, because I feel like he would be the type of guy who would have I know I keep going back to the dinner scene, but it's so good, who would have loved to talk about his exploits in war, but he goes, you first. Tell me about that. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't say that in Japanese culture when someone tell me a story and you're the guest in the house. Tell him a fucking story. No, he's not going to do that. He goes, no. What did you do, guy who's boning my wife, you barbarian? Like, I think that might be, no, I think that's that's a better way of looking about it.
Do we think he knows they boned?
I think he does.
Totally.
No,
totally does.
I think what's her face totally spilled the beans where he goes, oh, when he asked, have you pillowed with her? And he said, no, she's not into me. He's not into me. He's got other tastes. And it was like, by other tastes, I mean your wife, bro, because we all thought you were dead.
And keep in mind that Butaro is Fuji's uncle. So,
true. God, there's so many layers.
Yes. And so that's why there is also that part of it. So it's all intermixed in it. And the other thing to keep in mind is that he shot those arrows past her face into the post of the house without even seeing where the post was, because you couldn't see through the paper doors, and it hit both
I
of
thought
them.
the door was open.
It was, but he couldn't, like, the angles that it went through, he couldn't see. He could guess where it was, but it wasn't like a direct line of sight.
Okay, it's also a blatant act of disrespect of his household.
But Blackthorne challenged him, so
it doesn't matter.
Well, that's why he says he asked for forgiveness later.
Oh, is it because of that, or is it because he?
It's because he showed his ass. He got drunk and acted like an
Yeah.
idiot, and that's why. I don't think it had anything to do, and maybe it had something to do with he like smacked his wife around in his household. If that would have been like a totally separate like building, he could have done that and he wouldn't have felt.
Oh
bad.
no, I completely agree on that. But I'm just saying, and that's another thing too, where Blackthorne he's like Saki.
Oh, and that's
That was funny.
the other thing about Lady Fuji. She goes and she tells the like the servants, but like get rid of the sake and tell them we don't have any more, because she didn't want it to escalate as farther.
Oh,
than
she
it
was
did.
trying to do that from the get.
Yeah. Is that a monkey?
Yeah, monkey.
No, it makes
Cute
sense.
monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at the monkey.
True. Yeah.
Both of you. What's wrong with you?
Don't be weird.
I'm looking at. Like,
I'm going to be weird.
Cool.
So I think that so far that the dinner scene is probably my favorite scene in the show. Potentially.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, boosh. Yes, that's a Canadian for sure. Clay, what's up? Touch your monkey. I mean, I don't know who you're asking, but I can ask around backstage and find out.
I touched my monkey.
And I think this is where he comes back and she's like, yeah, the gardener bought the
Yes,
farm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he realizes that like it's well, he eventually realizes it's him. And I like how they put it to him where it's like your words made it the law.
And look
Yeah,
at her
no,
face.
it was, no, your words gave it value.
Right.
Just look at her face, man.
But
She's such
also too, like
like,
I
how do
said,
you not
I've
get
watched
this?
this both dubbed and not dubbed. Here, I'm finally gonna let the other shoe drop. So they're speaking to him in English when he's saying,
Oh yeah, okay.
when he, you know,
That
like
face. Come on.
that, you know, I think he says something akin to, who did this? Why, you know, and they go, the gardener. And he's like, well, you should give the old guy a medal because he climbed his way up here.
She's got the
And
big
then-
sad.
The
So
whole
sad.
time they're speaking to him in Japanese, but in the dub version, they're speaking to him in English. That whole thing at the end where he goes, "Go, get out of here!" Like it doesn't have the same gravitas that it does because in the scene they're speaking the same language as him.
It's like that. It's
So-
like that scene where the boy's always trying to shoo his dog away. He's like, "Go, you big dumb dog."
Oh, Airbud.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I don't want you
I
anymore.
don't want you. Get out of my life, you big dumb animal.
Yeah, I don't see how this works with dub. I just
Yeah,
don't.
you could have dubbed this. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
For shame. Okay.
whatever. I watched both.
We gotta wrap this up quickly.
yeah,
peoples.
this next part is so wild. Like,
Oh
Don't
yes,
kill-
it does
kill me
get
or whatever.
crazier.
But he's like, no, I don't want to kill you because that's what you want. She's always trying to get herself killed, this chick.
Yeah, all these chicks are trying to get themselves killed. Dude,
That's
who doesn't
because-
want it like to sit in their backyard with big giant flags behind them? Just
hell yeah.
have,
100%.
I love it.
You don't?
I want that.
No,
Yes.
you're just saying that you don't already do that.
Oh, yeah, I totally do.
I mean, I got 20 flags in my backyard.
That's her not impressed look. Yeah.
Oh, so hot.
I know, right?
Yeah, she is
Stop
fine,
this.
dude.
Don said you too.
Dude, she is fine. Lady
I'm
Fuji
touching. I'm
is-
touching. I'm
Peter
touching
Pan
my
fan.
monkey.
And
So this is exactly the kind of earthquake drill we run in California as well.
I know, right? Like,
Just
you know,
run.
it rains a lot, and then you're like, shit, there's gonna be landslides. This is so scary because me and my brother watched a lot of videos from like of Japanese earthquakes and stuff. He's a weeb.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sicko.
but it was sad watching this because it reminded me my brother's had a bunch of like pen pals and in Japan, and one of them was really cool. And she used to do like drawings, and she drew me in my race cars and stuff, and it was really cool. And then the Fukushima earthquake happened, and we didn't hear from her for a really long time. And then we found out later that she died, and we were very, very sad. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's just, it sucks because I'm like, yeah, it really is. I mean, if you live in California, it's kind of the same thing, but yeah, it's just something that's always there.
It's not though, because California sucks.
Yeah, California sucks, but yeah.
California does suck.
What else sucks
I'm
is
really
earthquakes.
glad that I held my tongue and didn't make a joke. I'm sorry about your friend.
It's sad, but you know, it's like life, and it's to watch this and you see it, and it's crazy.
I love
there was
this.
things like this in California too.
The order he gives them: don't move.
Yeah, it's like, where am I going, bro?
I mean, yeah.
Maybe we should move.
I like this scene so much because Toranaga is, like I said, he's 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D chess, whatever chess he's playing. He's always the smartest guy in the room. And when Blackthorne saves him,
you didn't see that coming.
He is totally aghast. It is
he just
wonderful.
jumps in there. Like, see, this is the interesting thing, is that there's a sort of like acceptance of your fate. Like, remember when Yabushiye falls in the ocean, he's just gonna kill himself.
Yes.
But Blackthorne's always like, no, I'm going to save you because we can save people. And then there's this sort of against this, like,
no, but that also shows how much respect Blackthorne has for him, because like, don't you think if you were in that situation, you would just kind of let him die and go be like, hey, we had an agreement, he's not alive anymore, I'm gonna take my men in my boat and go.
No, savior, Jamal, that's right.
No, because he's dealing with him actually killing someone based on his words, so like he's trying to make up for it by saving someone.
Not only that, his deal with Toranaga, and who knows what it would happen if Toranaga died. Who knows what would happen to him or his crew.
That's very true.
And so he right now thinks, I need to save this guy because he's my ticket out of here. Because literally they were just talking about him leaving, and then the earthquake happened.
Yeah, no, he basically said he was like, I'm
and this
done.
happens in the book and in the 1980 version as well.
I think we can all appreciate though that he finds Toronaga and they stop looking for anyone else.
Yeah, I love that part. I was thinking the same thing. Like, all right,
I know.
Everybody else, accept your fate.
As it should be. As it should be.
Right.
No, but
I like to think that they're all buried and they're committing seppuku underneath the soil.
I love the eye contact where he's like, hey, I gotta get out of here. Fuck you and your whole country. And then he's making Mariko like translate. And then like Toranaga's like looking at both of them and he's like, fuck this shit. You're gonna stay because I'm telling you to stay.
I thought they were.
You're gonna
but
live.
They're having like a
live.
lover's spat in front of him, and he goes, "This is childish.
Yes,
this is stupid.
I know, that's so funny.
You will do what I tell you to do." And then an earthquake happens.
I appreciate that he's digging, but he's digging for swords now. They're like, I thought they're looking for other people. Like, oh yeah, where's his swords?
No. Yeah, where's his swords? Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that is serious. That really is how seriously they take their sword.
I'm
sure
Somebody, I'm very badly bruised.
Hello, very badly crushed. Where's his sword? yeah, dude. But
guys,
I'm in some dirt, please. Somebody.
I'm in bad pain.
All right, but you're almost dead. Where's his swords at, dude? Are they near you?
Yeah, that's another thing too. You know what? If you're gonna be that subservient, dig a little bit more. You know, try a little harder.
Here, take these crummy swords.
Yes, take the garbage swords I never found that are worthless. And I'm sure he knows the source of them, so he knows he's in on the joke too on himself. No,
I would have loved if he looked into the camera and went, Reiki.
I don't think Toranaga knows the pedigree of those swords. No,
maybe not.
It's just like a family.
No, I think he totally understands it, and he is
even
laughing.
if he knew where the swords came
no,
from.
he's laughing about the
symbolic,
situation where you were without swords. Someone presented you swords. Now you're giving me these shit pieces of tin that were hawked from this dishonorable family, and you know what? I appreciate the honor because he gives the same look that Fuji did when he presented her the guns. He said thank you. And it was like, because it's not about the gift itself, it's the act of respect.
Exactly.
Blackface.
Blackface cancel.
Yes.
That's
Oh
done.
yeah, that's another thing too. They kept going back to the scene where it was like, how's she gonna be when she's got a whole house on top of her?
That's a good question.
In the 1980 version, her legs were messed up, not her back. I don't know. That's just here and there. It's just a small difference. But I like how he touches her hand, and you know,
Yeah,
so
it's
they
your
have
best
that.
girl,
They
dude.
have that bond. Yeah, exactly.
She ain't gonna turn you over to the feds.
Oh.
But of
How
course,
does
I'm
she
not
have-
worried about the army. Like, honestly, that's gonna
This was
take
my
out their
favorite
army.
scene.
It did. If you
In the
looked, it
standing
like
movie.
swept most of his army away. So now they're weakened.
Mhm.
But I mean, she sure does like a lot of bikini photo shoots.
She does like a lot of
Yeah,
bikini
like-
pictures. They're not hard to
you know,
find.
play to your strengths, I guess.
Yep. It works
the
for her.
Thing that
Yeah, I'm
confused
not
the most
hating
me,
it.
what was Eric July doing in the show?
Accepting thanks and praise mostly.
Wow.
He did a voiceover
Did he?
at the very beginning. Yep.
Yeah, at the very beginning. Yeah.
This is a cool scene.
Yeah, he's got to protect that best girl.
Yep.
Well, he
And
does.
He
No, the
knows.
stone
He knows
where he
that
goes
also.
to the rock garden. When he
Yep.
goes to the rock garden
Right.
and he starts. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I
Here's
like the
another
garden.
thing
Respect
is-
the garden.
I can't
This
remember
was-
if it was in this one or the 1981, where the gardener is talking to his friend, and they're like, you know, this is life now or whatever, and talking about things. But they had been on the Korean campaign to invade Korea, so
Yeah.
they were like war veterans too. On top of that, but I can't remember if it's in this one or the 1980.
Well,
I think it was
they
in-
No, there's a
mentioned
couple.
Korea in
No,
this quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, they keep mentioning it quite a bit. It's a motif that keeps being popped up in almost
What-
every episode now.
When that exact moment is when I went, God damn it, there's only 5 more episodes.
I know, right?
yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, we get that buddy cop show going.
I just, yeah. Oh, and then the end of this one. So it's
Yeah.
lucky that guy
Yeah.
died. They pinned the spying on him,
Brilliant.
which is convenient.
Yep.
Yep.
It's effective.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I thought that was
it's convenient.
brilliant. That's exactly how I would expect that to go down. You know, they don't have social media. They
Nope.
can't track that shit.
Well, the
Then
important thing
this-
isn't that they get the right spy, but they get somebody who they can say is a spy, and now they've all done their job.
Right. And also they planted the evidence. So it's all there, like little messages.
Yeah, no, and wouldn't you know it, he died the day before, and
Damn it.
even I even think what's his face thought it was bullshit, where he was like, so tragic. You know, it was like where it was like, oh well, I guess this ties up the loose ends, but I kind of think I'm being lied to here, but I can't prove it, and if I actually call it out as bullshit, people are gonna make me take a small sword and cut my innards out, and that will be the end of me. Senpiku is a really good way to tie up loose ends.
You got to tap this list. We have people that got to go. So, ratings, quick. Copa.
I give this
Copa,
one a
give it a
10.
7. Oh, 10.
Yeah, no. It was an excellent movie or show. I give it a lofty 7. So 10 out of 10.
I've never seen you give a 10 before.
Yeah, I'd say it's got the best scene in the show so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's perfect. It's perfectly done. And the landslide earthquake scene, I'm watching it. I'm like, dude, this doesn't even look like a lot of CGI to me,
No, it
which
doesn't.
was
It looks
which
great.
was fantastic. Yeah. it
No,
looks
a
great.
lot of it was practical.
So,
Sammy, what do you think out of 10?
I mean, just from what I saw, where they had sheets under the extras to pull the earth to make it look like that.
Oh, shit,
use of
we're suspended.
practicals. effects
we got
like
zapped.
that.
Hey, we've been zapped.
Oh no!
I'm gonna give
The
it.
stream's been pulled down. Just
I'm
give
gonna
it a
give it a-
moment. Wait, Sammy. Wait, Sammy. We're not even online. We're not even on.
Yeah, we're down.
Just bring it back. Oh, just
It must have
wait,
been the
right?
Shogun clips, but like, yeah.
I think so. I think it's all the bikini clips. I
Oh,
think.
for real?
No, I think Derek June heard us talking
Oh,
shit.
we're back.
Oh,
There we're back.
Oh,
we're back.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with my original. I'm gonna go with an 8.5,
Wow. Okay.
and simply because it's in the middle of the series, and I will happily give it a 10 when it's all said and done. But I don't know. I've had my heart broken before.
Mm-hmm.
We can believe in this one. I think.
You never know, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was
Just
saying.
never
I
know.
was like, I've been surprised, man.
It's true. Let's go to Lady B.
I was thinking of how I'd rate this. Like, I think that that scene was really good, but I almost would say this is like an 8.5 for me because it's like I felt the pacing was really slowed down, and I know they're building it up, but I don't know. I mean, I did really enjoy it, and I liked the scene and everything, and there was good stuff, but I can't keep rating it as good as the other one, so I'll just do an 8.5 this time.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Shieldwall.
I thought this was a 9.5 out of 10. It was really good.
Gooch.
I give it a 9. I thought the dynamics between the three characters in this was incredible. I like where they're going with it. I think this is going to be a great series. It's the same network as the Bear, so if the Bear didn't fuck up, then I'm thinking this won't fuck up. So I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's just every week I'm like, oh god, is this the one? Is this
I
the one
am
that's gonna fucking
too.
wreck
Yeah,
it?
I'm thinking the same thing. But like again, like
good point.
We love the Bear, and they haven't fucked it up with that, and it's the same network, so I'm assuming it's going to probably be fine. So
You know what? Boosh has a point. No one got pissed on. It is a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the new queen. Yeah, we didn't get there.
Oh yeah, and that
I didn't mess with
that
it
chick.
once.
I don't know about her, but we'll see.
Yep, we got people got to go. So, Sammy, you got stuff coming up soon?
I've been kind of a regular on Roman Show. I will be doing stuff on my buddy Jacob's Ironside's show. I'm going to be doing a lot of movie reviews, and Copa, I think we're doing the Warriors. I think coming up in April, and
Gord's show. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Oh no, I think you're talking to Gord King. He's doing the Warriors there in April.
What are we doing?
Well, we're talking right now. I don't know what you're talking about. we don't have anything planned.
I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Okay.
A lot of.
If I'm in your calendar, please let me know.
There. All right. Anyone who's got anything they want to promote before we get out of here? Because I'm keeping you guys late.
No,
I'm
go ahead, Lady B.
Oh,
Ladies
sorry.
first.
No, I'm just in the middle of remodel, and woohoo! On Saturday is my anniversary with Will. 1 year.
That's awesome. Congrats, you guys. And a new kitchen already. So
Yay! I know. Exciting. Cool. So
it's a good start. Right, everyone, thanks for hanging out. We got 3 hours. Holy shit! That's definitely gotta go. Took down once, but otherwise went pretty well. So, thanks everyone on the panel. Thank you, chat, and I'm gonna thank you properly now. Okay, so get prepared for a minute and 23 seconds of bliss.
Respect to the trans community. And fuck you, trans folks.
Trans people are my friends.
Transcope's gonna catch these hands. Transceiver are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Transceiver are my friends. Transcope's gonna catch these hands. Transceiver are my friends. So respect them, but we're going in. Transcope, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transcope, show your fucking mouth. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Transceiver are my friends. Transcope's gonna catch these hands. Transceiver are my friends. So